On your ass on a Wednesday night. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. Cold summer. It is the Wednesday edition, what we refer to as the Hump Day edition over here in the beautiful Chocolate City Studios in Northwest Milwaukee. 414 stand up, foundational Black American stand up. What it do, what it do. It is time to call a spade a spade. Welcome to the show, right? If you cannot digest unadulterated truth and bare facts, go listen to some other shit. If you don't want to hit it real, even if the conversation doesn't always favor your perspective, go listen to some other shit. I only want people who really ready to ride with us tonight. So share the show, share the show, share the show, share the show. It's like I said, it's Outlaw Radio Cold Summer. I'm not alone. I got my co-host with me. Y'all know who I am. I'm Kevin Barnes. I'm the Negro Whisperer. I'm the world-class smart ass in the building. But I got my co-host with me. What's happening with you tonight, man? What's going on?
I'm so peaceful today, y'all. I am just so peaceful. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the coach and teacher, the hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Hey, mama, there go the CMOS, man! Yeah. Y'all better come on in. I'm also the one who brings you House of Vitality. You see it right behind me. Y'all better come on and get what you can get from the kid, man.
I'm glad you're feeling peaceful because I'm not. I feel like putting my foot up somebody's ass right now. It's a lot going on in the city, but I digress. I'm no longer a violent man. I'm no longer a man who takes every situation into my fists and involve physicality. But at one point in my life, I was that individual. I'm no longer him, and I have to remind myself of that. And I'm upset because a lot of people are going for the proverbial banana in the tailpipe. You're still missing. You're still lost. As much as you motherfuckers reference history, I see you don't learn anything from the shit that you regurgitate because you're repeating the same fucking vicious cycles that got us in this place in the first goddamn place. Talk about all that tonight. That shit's coming. First of all, let me say there's a phone number attached to the show that's streaming us or scrolling slowly, I should say, across the bottom of the screen. And it's 262-202 5131 262 202 5131. There's also a Cash App. I'm in the process of rebuilding everything and reorganizing everything. So if you love what we do on Outlaw Radio, hit the Cash App. That's plain and simple. There's also a chat room that pops. And shout out to our sponsor, my brother Fletch with EPU SDS, self-defense, all the kind of things that you need to know in order to be able to maintain yourself in this crazy, crazy, crazy city that we live in. And they also have a website, epusds.com. epusds.com. That's how you go to the website, look and see the services that Fletch offers, see some demonstrations. It's a beautiful website. Black businesses, first and foremost, with what we do. Once again, people ask me all the time, what is your show about? My show is about black people. What do you talk about? We talk about black people shit. That's what we talk about.
That's it.
Right? So, and if it's pertinent, if it's important, if it has an impact on our culture, if it has an impact on our struggle, and it's something that could possibly prevent progress for us, we talk about it. So a lot of the shit that people talk about, you got to go and listen to them to hear that bullshit. On here, you're going to get the real on what the real is, and so on and so on and so forth. Not saying that I'm better than anybody else. I just took the initiative to create my own platform. So my microphone is utilized in the right way. Now, if you have something to say or if you have an opinion to express, I welcome you because we live in a day and age where anybody and everybody got a goddamn platform and a podcast. So start your own shit. But if you want to get on code, you want to be with the people, you want to know what we talking about, you want to know what's important to us or should be important to us, then listen to Outlaw Radio. And I am the Outlaw, Kevin Barnes. That is my government name. Ain't ducking, ain't hiding, and nothing like that. Out in plain sight, but still hidden to a certain degree. Dion, I see in the chat room, he said, what up, my people? It ain't nothing, man. It ain't nothing to it. It ain't nothing to it. First of all, happy summer to everybody. We, summer actually just officially started, I believe Tuesday or Monday, like the summer solstice or whatever. If you're into that kind of lunar observation. Summer actually officially just started. Um, and we're on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time until whenever we choose to cut the machine off because we own the machine. We have a very poorly promoted YouTube page, which is called the Peoples with a Z Network. Please go and subscribe. If you're watching from YouTube, subscribe, hit like, hit the bell for the notification when the show is on. You can do the same thing on YouTube. All shows are archived on my personal page. They're archived in the People's News Network, which is our sister group, which is a platform for premium Black news and information as well. We have an Outlaw Radio page, which some of you are seeing the show uh, through, and you know, like I said, man, there's no way that you cannot see the show. So share the show, share the show, share the show. The 414 needs some real shit. Like it's enough status quo Negroes in this city, and I understand that there's a game to be played, but I want to play it in a different way. I want to throw the rule book out the window simply because the rules have never worked for us. Name anything that we did the white way or the square way or the unsophisticated way, something that didn't involve you utilizing the advantages that you have as a person of color. You're not gonna win. You got to put some stank on it, right? You have to inject our what we have, the uniqueness that we bring to it, our depth of thought, our ability to create, our charisma, the way we handle situations, our perseverance. Those are the things required. So if you want to be just add water and serve Negro, that is on you. I'm not. I just watched a beautiful video by Ice Cube talking about not being a member of the club. Not being a member of the club. And he asked, do you understand what I'm saying when I say the club? Some people didn't understand that. Well, he talked about not being a member of the club of gatekeepers and those who would make themselves tools of Mr. Charlie and his allies. So if this is the kind of time you on, if you believe in us getting on code, making things happen for ourselves, man, this is a platform you will really enjoy. If you can't stand, if you got thin skin and you're sensitive, some of y'all just sensitive. We live in the age of the emotional Negro. A lot of us is just way too fucking sensitive. I was raised by old Southern men. My father was an old Southern man. He didn't have no emotions. He wasn't sensitive about shit. He had a bottom line, and that's what he stayed true to. He wasn't worried about what somebody said about him. He wasn't worried about an image. He was worried about what he did. He was worried about his execution. And so I've inherited that trait from him because I could give a fuck if you like me or not. And that's something that you probably shouldn't tell people if you're trying to get them to listen to your show. But I want you to like me for the right reasons and don't love me for the wrong ones. I don't know if people can understand what that means, but it is what it is. Go back, watch the show over, rewind it about 3-4 times. Say, what the fuck was Kev talking about right there? I guarantee you after the third or fourth time you listen to it, you'll understand the shit. Matter of fact, you'll overstand it. That's what our show is about. It's not about understanding. It's about overstanding. Knowing where you at, where you came from, and where you going, and how you gonna get there. Do you have a plan? Some of us do, some of us don't. And some of us don't even give a fuck about having a plan. And some of us don't know what a plan is. They only know about today. And this is why most of the information that I get that may be highbrow or quasi-intellectual, I do my best to break it down. Like KRS-One said, broken down to its very last compound. See how it sounds? A little irrational. A lot of MCs like to use the word dramatic. Yeah, that's where we at, man. So I'm seeing black people move in this city in a very, very coonish way, a Sambo-ish way. Yeah. I see y'all once again trying to dance that dance with the oppressor, having not learned the lesson that he don't want to dance with you.
In the dance, they dancing in the dark.
And in the moonlight, right?
Yeah, they dancing in the dark.
Got somebody playing the fiddle for your ass in the background. Stop it. It's got to be a new way and a new day. They keep saying an individual who does the same thing over and over, expecting a different result is what? Insane.
Insane in the membrane.
So are we just an insane, retarded people? Because we
Insane in
keep
the
doing the same
brain.
shit. Same shit over and over. Well, maybe this a good white boy. Maybe this time the white folks will treat us better. Man, no, they like us. They wants to hear what we got to say. Instead of
Nigga, they
saying,
don't sell nigga pies.
come on, man. How much money would it take to make one of them a nigga pie? She told
They
him,
don't
get the fuck
sell. They
out of
don't
here.
sell nigga pies.
Right. Come on, man. When y'all gonna understand that? When we gonna get together and be on code? When do some of us stop thinking we're more enlightened than the rest of us and feeling out of way? I know what to do with these white folks. You ever heard a nigga say that? See, I know how to play these white folks. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Right.
No, you don't.
Right.
They're going to
That's
niggerize
why
you.
talking to me, nigga.
Right. They're gonna niggerize you the first chance they get. And here you come back to us after you get niggerized.
After you get back in the niggerdom.
You get re-niggered. I just made up a word. You come up, you think you got a position, you think you ain't good with them, and then you get re-niggered. You don't have to keep going through that process if you stop falling for the goddamn okie doke. We collectively as a people have to think, move, function, and prepare to take care of ourselves. Nobody else is going to do it. Biden wasn't going, even if Biden was 30 years younger, he wasn't going to save us at that goddamn debate. If Trump was 30 years younger, he wasn't going to save us at that debate. So why are we up in arms about the shit? Why we walk around talking about, see, he too old. Trump said what? Trump said, what have Republicans said to you niggas that got y'all so goddamn excited? People say they like Trump for his policies, but every time I say, what policy? I don't get an answer. What policy? What policy did Trump put in office when he was the president that gave us as people of color a head start? I don't think there was one. See, I got a caller. Let me see. I got a caller. Caller, you got to turn your device all the way down. Oh my God.
Okay, Big Homie. How's that? How's that now?
I'm good now. What's going on, Shabaka? How you doing tonight?
Oh man, that debate was a joke, man. You know what I'm saying? And then all these brain dead motherfuckers you got out here, man. That's why they're in need of resurrection of the mental dead. We're doing a special edition tomorrow, Dr. Barnes, called The Fourth of Their Lives, man. Please spread it. We want the whole board filled up, man. We had old dumbass Sarge on there last night with his self-hating bullshit, man. And it's nigger, man. Just like, the witch doctor said, man, what are we going to do about these niggerized nigger them? How can we get rid of that, doctor? You know what I'm saying? Because with me being an old bastard, man, I'm out of answers. You know what I'm saying? Right. I really am, man.
I think we just got to keep on moving without them, man. They're going to fall to the wayside and get right.
That's right, witch doctor. You know what I'm saying? And feel free, witch doctor, to advertise your sea moss, man, on my page, man, is because
appreciate that.
I don't know what. Yeah, because I don't know, man, what Facebook is doing or what have you, man. But, man, there's been a lot of these OTVs, man, advertising on my page, man, on a like page, man, and I've been blocking them and kicking them out. You know what I'm saying? And what have you. And they come up, man, with all kind of crap. And then on top of it, too, man, the dumb as in human shit. And I want to make that perfectly clear. At least he's honest about what he's going to do. Biden, man, this cat, man, it was up there, man, looked like he's about 3 steps away from the rest home, man, standing up here on the debate, looking like a zombie, man. Maybe he's fucked up off that crack his son has got, or that Sherm, or them Red Devils, or whatever that they used to take off there in the '60s, or lysergic diethylamide acid, or LSD, where you had a doctor by the name of Timothy Leary who invented that or developed it, man, and was advocating everybody to take this crap in the late 1960s. So you see why it's all twisted. But however, man, these white folks, man, they're serious about it, their hatred of us, man. And what it is, man, we got to defend ourselves, man. We got to circle our wagons, brother, intellectually, physically, mentally, educationally. You see what I'm saying? It's because these public indoctrination centers, man, is sitting up here pushing this prepackaged bullshit, man. And I just really, really, really pity our youth, you know, and I'm mainly talking about like the 20-year-olds, man, you know, the 18-year-olds, stuff like that, you know. And as you were saying a while back about these rap records, man, they sitting up there talking about go out here and commit all this crime and what have you. And the youth in the inner cities is going into the penitentiary, but the kids of the rappers are living up there in gated communities. You see what I'm saying? You know, there's something wrong with that. We're not going to talk about, man, what's going on out here in Las Vegas. The BET Awards that came from my hometown of Los Angeles, they were garbage. I don't support BET because it's not black-owned. It's owned by Paramount. So quite naturally,
they was promoting prostitution.
Protect a certain... Yeah. So, you know, they're going to project whoredom. They're going to project ratchetness, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to project, you know, our men folk going out there, being feminized, man, shoving ketchup up their asses, talking about they having a menstrual cycle. Man, man, I'm telling you, man, this generation, man, It don't exactly make an old man wish for younger days, man, but I'm just saying is that, you know, we got to start controlling the intellectual development, man, of our youth and stop letting this idiot box and all this ratchetness coming out of Los Angeles, man, programming our youth for self-destruction. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had these brothers, man, that did some hard time, man. You know what I'm saying? To reach out to this youth. You know what I mean? To get their mind right. You know what I'm saying? It's because, man, a whole lot of our minds ain't right. So I don't know if it's the shit they're putting in the air or the shit they're putting in the food, a combination of all the above. You know what I'm saying? But something is very, very wrong here. Very, very wrong. You know what I mean?
I got you. And we're going to get into all that. We're going to get into all that tonight. I got some stuff that's going on in Milwaukee that's pivotal that I got to get to. Because I know everybody in Milwaukee is waiting on the developments with this story. So I got to get this, but I want to show you some love early because I normally you call later in the show. So I want to show you some love early and let you spit your edibles so people can digest it and get high off the knowledge, right? We used to always say that. Right. We used to always say on this show, it's time to fire up the knowledge and get high off the revolution. I stopped saying it. I need to bring that back, right? So Shabaka, I want you to stay with us, and I'm guaranteeing you after I get done talking about what I'm about to put out here, you're gonna be calling back saying, "Ain't that a bitch?"
So I'm gonna stay with you, man.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So I'm in the queue, man. Anytime you're ready for me, man.
There we go. All right.
Greetings to you, Witch Doctor. How you be?
I'm good, family. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay, I'm in the queue, man. I'm shutting up now, man. All
right. So check this out. Before I even get to these cats standing around, some of these dudes that's sleeping with the enemy, right? These dudes who keep trying to play a game that we've always lost at, but they continuously just do the same thing over and over. Do we have the latest example of George Floyd with the murder of a young black male at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in downtown Milwaukee? If you are familiar with Milwaukee, you know the Hyatt Regency is one of the higher tier hotels, at least for us it is. I know that there's probably some luxury hotels that will say, no, we actually have a higher rating. That's not my point. The Hyatt Regency is a high profile hotel that I remember in elementary school, they used to take you on a trip and you go down there and go to the restaurant on the top floor that was turning. I don't know if it still rotates.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's a restaurant up there or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. It used to rotate slowly around. And so this is crazy. I don't know if they still do that. And I don't know if that thing still rotates, right? But There's a young black male. His name is Devontae Mitchell. And allegedly, this individual suffered from mental health issues. I know that from preliminary statements from the family, they stated that he had suffered from some severe depression with the loss of his father. And this was, I think he was 29, 30, between 30 and 32, somewhere in there. I don't have the exact breakdown on that. It's Devontae Mitchell. He's down there for whatever reason. There's a disturbance. From what I'm told, 4 security guards hold him down and restrain him until he passes away. I'm getting feelings. I'm getting visions of Derek Chauvin with his knee on the back of George Floyd's neck. And I'm not jumping the gun here. I'm going to tell you why I compared it to that. And I'm also going to talk about what could be the differences or determining factors on how the people in Milwaukee react to this. This is a very precarious, I should say, situation. Shout out to Sean Moore, who's a friend of the show. Sean Moore has been on Outlaw Radio so many times. He's almost an official outlaw. He's a centimeter away, but he has his own podcast, The Game Members, which he does. So shout out to Sean Moore. He happened to be there and have his phone out at the time. As a matter of fact, they gave Sean Moore in the newspaper credit for the footage provided by Sean Moore. Some of my people told me he was on the radio this morning, WNOV or what have you, talking about this situation. I know that Ben Crump, who is probably in terms of black attorneys here, when it comes to taking on civil rights cases in the city, he's on the case. Shout out to Eagle Eyes, who was security, because he's told me before he provides security for attorney Ben Crump. So Ben Crump is on this. Now, I said George Floyd's name not to invoke an overreaction, or like I said, a lot of times black people are just too goddamn emotional. And I don't want to tug at your heartstrings. But I brought up George Floyd and Derek Chauvin because once that happened, the worry or the concern amongst the people was, would he or would he not be prosecuted? Now, we know for sure now that he was prosecuted and he's incarcerated at this point, even to the point where he's actually been stabbed and assaulted in prison. Now, what we want to know and what this family needs to know is how swift the cycle of justice will move forward. First of all, I don't think that these are Milwaukee police officers. These are security personnel that work for the hotel. So in my opinion, they are liable for prosecution, and the hotel itself is liable for a lawsuit or vulnerable, I should say.
Right.
There should be some sort of compensation made to this family. Now, I don't know if the security company and the hotel are two different entities, but if they are, they both should be sued, right?
Well, it's about who hired the security company.
Whoever it was should be sued. So if the Hyatt Regency did it, lawsuit. If whoever owns the security company, if there's a separate person, lawsuit. And all 4 of them should be at least a civil trial. First of all, there should be a criminal trial for murder.
Right.
And then there should be a civil trial as well. We all know money don't make up for the loss of their loved one. But what we need to see in this case is swift justice. I keep saying, we holler prejudice, we holler racism, we holler all this shit about shit sometimes that don't matter. And I keep telling y'all, be cool, because the shit, when we need to be hollering about it, will come up. Like Trump's pardon. Like this shit right here. This justice better be smooth and swift. I don't want you to do the normal, and I don't know how many of these security personnel were even black, but if they were black, like my mother used to say, yo ass, go in the wagon, come too. When people need to understand, when you are given a job, I don't care what the job is, if it involves the ability to physically interact with someone, you have to understand that you don't have the right to take their life. Whether you're a cop, security guard, I don't care if you're a goddamn deputy. I don't even care if you're a prison guard, because we just watched, rest in peace to T-Buck. The prison guards who were involved in this faced litigation as well, didn't they? They got criminal charges.
Some of them.
Some of them, okay. I don't know who all was exonerated.
I say that because you know what I mean. This is how I personally feel. I feel like everybody, all the officers that worked the shift
Okay.
during that week he was in there should be charged for that shit.
I don't disagree with you because we talk about who's complicit.
Right. They knew
Right?
that water been off for a long ass time. You know.
And nobody felt the need to say, hey man, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Exactly. So everybody can get it.
Everybody should get it. And so this is why I hope that whatever lawsuit Attorney Crump is able to negotiate, and I don't know if he has a team in which he'll handle the criminal part and somebody else will handle the civil part. I hope whatever lawsuit that they're able to impart against the Hilton puts them out of business. I hope they have to sell the hotel. I don't care if they sell it. I said the Hilton, the Hyatt. I don't care if they have to sell it to the Hilton. I don't care if it becomes one big ass Holiday Inn.
Fucking days in.
I don't give a fuck what it is. Your high stakes, highfalutin shit days should be over. It should be a monumental financial award.
Right.
When are people who have these organizations, like I said, that are gonna deal with people and have the right or responsibility of physically dealing with someone, when are they gonna take up on themselves to say, listen, we need to apply additional training just in case somebody's suffering from mental illness? When do you say, I recognize this individual may be going through a mental issue? We need to have training to say, don't do this. 4 people, from what I'm told, and I haven't spoken with Sean, or I would ask him to come on the show and elaborate. I know he's probably saving it for his show because he's going to have the family on. He wanted to have the family on last night. He said out of respect, last night he rescheduled for Friday. So Friday, I'm guessing Sean will come on and talk about this. I don't know. But I just think that this needs to be swift justice. And I think what happened with Derek Chauvin is that people felt like that this would be just, well, you got to understand, in the state of Minnesota, they were coming off of my man who got shot up in the car and all this kind of stuff. Right. Like they were coming off of this. Right. And so they were just saying, you know what, we ain't gonna wait this time. We're gonna be proactive with this shit. With what we saw here in 2016, the reaction was to the murder of a young black male by a police officer, and it was more of the same, but the cop was eventually, he got off. And then you find out that he was just like a gay dude drugging people, like he's like the disco cop, right? Like he's a homo thug, drugging people, taking them to his house, young men. And then he gets in trouble for that. Gets exonerated for killing the young brother. Well, the city said, fuck that. And they acted a fool. Seen it firsthand. Watched it firsthand. Stood on the corner and watched the gas station go up in flames. And then said, what? There's gas underground right there. Let me get the fuck out of here. Right? So I seen that firsthand. Y'all let me know. Get in the chat room. What y'all thinking about this? Have you looked into this? Or do you care? Some people might say, Kev, at this point, really don't give a shit. I'll tell you what do you give a shit about? What do you care about? You're free to put that in the chat room as well. I think there should be instant justice here, Kamar. How you feeling about this?
Likewise, you know what I mean? Find out who's the culprit. Last I heard, it was some security guards. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, they need to do them as swift as they do niggas in the court system. Shit.
Right through.
Shoot
them right through.
Speedy trial.
right. And listen, I don't, because a lot of times the devil is in the details. So we start talking about, well, what happened? And we want to figure out, we got to understand procedure. We got to understand policy. Well, I think you should have already worked that out before you encounter somebody who's obviously going through a psychic episode. And your only response is, let's hold him down. They should show you a film on the first day of becoming a cop or any individual who's supposed to provide security and safety to say, you cannot lay a grown man down on his chest or his back and restrict his breathing. They will die. Don't do it. right? You cannot put your arms around his or her throat and restrict their air passageway. They could die. There are trainings that you should and see, we talk about being certified and certifications and all this. Look, we just seen a situation once again that involved Sean Moore, where you had a security guard working security in a gas station who had already previously been convicted of murder at a different gas station and done time. He had no business anywhere a security job or a gas station late at night for that matter. This is the kind of slop we get thrown. This is the kind of shit that continuously happens to us while those who are in positions of supposed power or influence do the dirty dance with the other side. They do the status quo dance. Kwame Brown called it the go along to get along gang, right? And it's an attempt for you to empower yourself. That at that point, you show me that you're selfish. When you're promoting a political candidate and it's your opinion and your preference, even though it goes against the best interests of the people, when you promote that candidate, you being a selfish ass son of a bitch. Because you don't care about the people, you only care about your fucking ego and what you think, and you believe you're some kind of Svengali. When there's no way one man knows everything. If it's a personal preference, say that. If you're paid to do it, say that. But don't come off as you with us.
Quit leading motherfuckers on.
Say that again.
I said, quit leading motherfuckers on.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to vote for Trump, you want to vote for whoever, say that, you know what I mean, and leave it at that.
But if you're going to talk to the rest of us, let's talk about us.
Right.
This ain't about you as an individual.
Right. Because everybody ain't in your tax bracket. Some people say they vote in a certain kind of way because of the tax bracket, but everybody ain't in that tax bracket. You don't need to be discussing shit with the people that ain't in that tax bracket. You know what, really, right?
And everybody doesn't have the favor of those friends that you've made that got you promoting this individual in the first fucking place.
Right.
Right? It's a lot of behind the scenes shit. But in public, it's rah-rah. You know who you are. And I'm not talking to one person. There's a bunch of people. I look at Milwaukee and I see a bunch of people who stay out here in the streets, stay out here on the front lines trying to help people. That's what they do. And in some cases, they know it's probably a losing fight, but they never stop. Respect to them. And then I see some people who get out here and figure out nuances. They figure out who the gatekeepers are. They figure out who the enablers are. And they jump in foot first, but they still come to us and say, hey, I'm with y'all. That in effect makes you a puppet, a political hack. In the streets, we call you a fuck boy. Because you're talking out both sides of your neck. When you're around us, you us. When you with them, you're theirs. You see what I'm saying? You're owned, and then you come out and play a role. You know who you are. I don't have to put no names on that shit. And if you want to know if you included, give me a call. We'll talk personally. I don't need to do it on here. I ain't never been built like that. I'm not an internet dude in that regard. I utilize the internet to push my platform. I'm always open to some personal one-on-one communication. Like, what's this about? Okay, let's talk about it. Right? So ain't no subliminals or no shit like that. But I just get tired of watching this city continuously fall apart. And people who have power, and power is an illusion anyways when you live in this city and you black. It's an illusion. What makes you think you got some power? Once again, they wouldn't hesitate to niggerize your ass if you stop dancing the dance. When they pull that fiddle out, if you don't keep shucking and jiving, they'll kick your ass out. You'll be out here with the rest of us who ain't in the club. Like Cube said. And I don't want to be in your club anyways. I'm just going to go ahead and keep it real. I kiss no ass. I bow down to no man. I fear no man. I'm not worried about no man. I'm not worried about anybody because they got some position. I'm not worried about somebody who has influence. I don't give a fuck who your friends are. The truth is the truth is the truth, and so on and so on and so forth. And I'm going to tell the truth about it. So if you don't like that, you can hit the highway. It doesn't matter to me, right? But I'm just saying, I try to promote things that are good for us as a whole. Sometimes I play devil's advocate just so we can get an understanding, so we can see the big picture. Really, my personal shit, my personal feelings, I don't put out here to people a lot of times. Come on, we joke about me saying I eat hog head cheese. Do you hear me promoting hog head cheese for people to eat? It's not something I say. That's my personal shit.
Right.
I'm not, when I talk about how we should be eating, I talk about how we really should be eating. We should be eating clean. We should be paying attention to what foods we are eating and where they come from. It's very hard to understand it, but I think the end is worth it. I think that the ends justify the means. I admit all the time, I have flaws. I don't promote my flaws on other people. I don't say, yeah, man, you should, you should do what I do, because I'm still figuring it out. And can't nobody pay me to mislead my people. As much liquor as I drink, I wouldn't take a liquor endorsement unless they gave me ownership in the company. But I would be very transparent about that. When people say, Kev, why is you doing this? Because they fucking paying me. That's why. I'm not gonna lie to you. I tell you the truth. Shabaka's in the chat room. He's saying wow to the story about this young brother who was held down by the security at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in downtown Milwaukee and murdered. It's time for us to start saying he's murdered. John Fletcher in the chat room, Mr. EPU SDS himself. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? He said, what up, family? Let's go.
Dude, Fletch.
It's Outlaw Radio. You know how we do. Share the show, share the show, share the show. Hit the line, bang the line if you agree. If you disagree, just be respectful of the platform and I won't have to hang up in your face. Shabaka said facts. Dion said, did you hear about Waka Flocka telling people if they voted for Biden to leave his concert? I did. Once again, here's a hack. Like, what? You paid to get in my concert and I'm so gone that I won't perform for you because you're voting for Biden? Come on, man. I don't listen to Waka Flocka music anyways. I've heard the one song. He's never even been in my top 600 rappers. So I don't, he wouldn't have to worry about kicking me out his fucking concert. Let's say that. And I don't know that he has enough. I mean, he's on the backside of a career. Like, he's on his way to 40. You know how rap does you when you go over 35 and when you get to 30. Hey, man, you do whatever you can do to make yourself relevant. This ain't the way to do it. This is damn sure not the way to do it. So I said that to say there's a bunch of entertainers right now that feel like they're standing on something special. There's a lot of Negroes. Once again, I challenge anybody, and this is something that I'm very serious about, is if you know of something that Trump did, if you know of something that he did that was good for us, call me and tell me about it. People keep telling me his policies. What policy particularly? For you all to be
the stimulus check.
Was that good? I mean,
I'm just saying that's what they gonna say.
Well, yeah, okay.
It ain't no policy. I'm just saying that's what the motherfucker gonna say.
If that's why you're willing to vote for him again, say that. Well, what was that? $500 or something like that? What was it? I remember with the stimulus check.
One of them was 5 or 6. One of them was 12. The other one was 6. I think it was 3 of them. I think.
Well, I thought it was one.
Everybody didn't get all 3.
No, everybody didn't get all 3. Okay, there we go. Because I was going to say, I don't think I got all 3. I think I got 1, and then the rest went to like tax shit.
I don't know what the fuck happened to it.
Something like that. Let me see what Fletcher's he said. I'm gonna be calling in on 101.7 The Truth at AM, promoting the Wellness Our Way and my business, talking about mental health pertaining to the highest security guards and protocol. Yeah, all right. Fuck the truth. Fuck them. That's just me. That's just me saying that. That's just me saying that. So if you like them, fine. I'm not telling you don't listen to it. Go ahead, Fletch. Promote your shit. You a businessman. You ain't Kamar. Y'all businessmen. Y'all got to go out into the community. I don't have to play nice with these motherfuckers. I don't. I can tell everybody kiss my ass. I'm not, but it's not you. It's not you. It's and you're a sponsor of the show. So that's me. If they would ask you about it, you say that's Kev. And anybody who know me know Kev stands on what Kev says. I don't bring nobody else with me. I don't have to. But fuck them. That shit is Republican owned. That is a prop up of a platform. Shout out to anybody on there that's black. I love to see black people get money. I really do. But understand, man. Understand what they're doing. Understand what they come on, man. How can that's just like Massa saying, okay, niggers, we'll give you a platform, right? This is the same thing as what some people would look at when they look at the church. They say the white man gave you a church and said you can go in there and spit my stuff to your people and influence them. I look at life in parallels. Yeah. I don't know if everybody does.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened. So anytime white people get behind a platform and say, oh, poor niggers, I'm going to give you a platform for you to express yourself. White people don't do nothing for nothing. It's always something in it for them. And we see now that this station, for the most part, wants to create an illusion that we gave you a platform, but we really want to steer black voters towards the Republican Party. It's a game. It's a game. So shout out to the motherfuckers who know what's what. And if you support them, keep supporting them. Like, what the fuck? But just know what you're listening to. It's just like WNOV. Here's a platform that's supposedly the voice of the community, but the Democratic Party controls them. So they get enough money and sway from the Democratic Party to control what you say when you're on there. You ain't going in there being no party pooper. You ain't going on none of these platforms as a party pooper, except Outlaw Radio, saying fuck the Democrats and fuck the Republicans. The only place you can do that shit is on here or some other free speaking platform. Everywhere else, when you in their house, you got to play their game. That's the bad part of being in their house. That's the risk you take of laying down with them. Eventually, you will get niggerized. Trust and believe. It has never failed. He says Van Jones is name me some black person that they put up that they didn't tear down. What black person was telling the truth and they continuously promoted and supported him or her? It's never happened. Never. Anytime one of us comes out and starts to tell the truth about us and our situation, either they're going to try to ostracize us or they're going to try to get with us and form some kind of shaky ass alliance that ultimately puts our people in a twist and compromises us. It's the truth is what it is. So if you fall in love with people who say, you know what? You're a good nigger. You're one of the good ones. We like you. We're going to give you a platform. You think you ain't going to have to pay Mr. Charlie sooner or later? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That's why you always hear me talking about the media in Milwaukee. Like, this is some fucking Chitlin circuit bullshit. Look at our representation. Most of the time in the newspaper or on the news on television, they tell more stories about the goddamn suburbs than they do about us, unless it's fucking murder, unless it's a fire, unless it's a crazy ass car crash. Other than that, they talking about we're gonna go to the Cranberry Festival in Oconomowoc. We're here today at the beer garden in Muskego for the opening day of the fishing season. And then look at the Journal Sentinel. It's the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. We got a section talking about the suburbs. Even in sports and athletics, for prep sports, they big up the suburban schools more than they big up the city schools. And it's been like that for a long time, and ain't nobody said a goddamn thing. But if we get a chance to go in them shits, shit, hey, man, I got to do what I got to do. Continue to do what you do. Just know what you're doing. Ignorance, we always keep saying, ignorance can't be the excuse. Sure. So if a motherfucker say, I saw you in the Kev, promoting your shit, I say, yeah, I know, but best believe I know who the fuck I was dealing with too. I'm not going to play the game like, oh, well, fuck the people. I'm in the Journal Sentinel now. The payoff ain't enough. It's a rag of a newspaper. It's not even one of the top journalistic outlets in the Midwest, in the state probably. It's probably last. It's bullshit. It's owned by people who don't give a fuck about us. So be careful when you do that. Enough of my rant on them, right? I call this show Cold Summer because every summer we get to the point where, oh man, it's a lot of great things going on. And it is. It's festival season. Get out, go to Jazz in the Park, go to Summerfest, go to State Fair Park. But there's also murder, mayhem, and chaos and confusion. Right? People dying left and right, being taken out. Cold summer. That make a hot summer feel very cold. I don't know if you've been in the trenches where you lost somebody in the summer. I've lost a friend in the summer. Totally changed the trajectory of the summer. It was not hot anymore. It's a cold summer, right? When I see people getting mistreated, when I see young people going to the lakefront or going to beaches, dying because of undercurrents, and the county's response is, we don't have enough lifeguards. I say, oh, that's fucked up. The county right now has been paid $500 million to tear down underutilized park facilities, right? There's a law in the books here called the Community Restoration Centers, in which I said years ago, we need to go into underserved neighborhoods and we need to take these park pavilions that are not utilized and turn them into something that can benefit the community, such as a social services hub where people can get access to medical care, people can get access to baby child care programs, to tutoring programs. You put all these people in one central place. It was passed, it wasn't executed. So now they're talking about, let's start tearing this stuff down, right? I hear the county talking about, oh, our parks are really severely underfunded. But who's really going into the parks utilizing them in that fashion anymore? Back in the days, like right now, you ever went past a park and seen a baseball diamond and said, who the fuck used that?
Right.
Black people don't even play baseball no
When we was growing up, it was all kind of little league teams that played on those baseball fields and football fields and basketball courts. They had leagues for that. Ain't got shit no more.
We got Warning. Shout out to my homie, Dante Holmes, who was involved with Warning for a very long time. I don't know that he's still with Running Rebels, so I don't know what his involvement is, but I believe it's the 50th anniversary of Warning, program that was established in the 70s to deter young men from being wild and loose and out in the street, and imparting that athletic part of it to say, hey, man, there's understanding through sports. There's character development through sports. This league, I believe, was part of Mike McGee Sr.'s initiatives, in which we had an individual here who came and said, you know what? Streets got to eat too. We got to take care of these people in the streets. We got to take care of the people. We can't just keep dancing to the fiddler's tune. We got to do something different. Right? And if you are out there and you're doing something different and you say, Kev, you ain't talking about me, maybe I'm not. If you're doing something that you know is real and effective in the community, of course I'm not talking to you. If you just want to be pissed off, fuck it. Like you say, I'm your Huckleberry. If you're looking for somewhere to direct your frustration, imagine how we feel in the community. When we see you on a ballot, we see you on a commercial, and we find out that your mama was a teacher and your daddy worked third shift. We say, oh, we want to support him. And then you turn around and get engaged in the Sambo dancing, in the buck dancing. Mr. Charlie playing that tune and you can't resist. Happy 4th of July. Tomorrow's the 4th of July, Kamar. Do you have any plans for the 4th of July?
Not no big plans.
Okay.
My cousin, they're going to be down by the lake, so I may go down there and hang out with them for a while.
Okay.
Once I get done with my duties here at home.
There you go.
For the store and everything, I may get out a little bit.
It's Independence Day. You gonna go celebrate this goddamn holiday and we ain't free?
No, it ain't that. I ain't celebrating nothing. I'm going to hang out with some of my people that's for to be out here.
That's celebrating, Kamar.
Well, I'm celebrating them.
You celebrating their Independence Day.
Well, whatever they want to call it, man. I'm celebrating them.
I'm
I
gonna
ain't
have
here.
me.
Hey, listen, I ain't here to spoil nobody's shit. You know what I mean? I ain't here to argue with the motherfuckers
Not
about
at all.
the holiday about and all that.
Shame
I
on
know
you.
that, but hey, I ain't finna sit in the house just because it's the 4th of July,
Right. Okay.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, that would be stupid. Like everybody got a day off. All black people should sit in the house and not do shit.
Yeah. Not here. Not
You
here.
know what I mean? Like,
Not in
so
America.
hey man, go enjoy your motherfucking self. There's shit going on out here.
I'm gonna be barbecuing my ass off
You know
tomorrow.
what I'm talking about? You're gonna have all kind of pork on that grill. I know it.
You know it.
Yeah, it's going down. You can taste it now, can't you?
I can smell it. I can't taste it. It ain't done yet. Woo! Yes, sir. I gets down. And you know what the great thing is my pork on the grill output is reduced dramatically from years prior. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
cause my wife don't really eat she eats chicken and fish. She don't eat beef, she don't eat pork. My son and I eat pork, but you know, it's just not pork is not a staple in our diet just because.
Right.
Like I get bacon a 9 then, right? Pork, normally we're gonna eat pork when I barbecue. It's not a
Right. You
not a
damn near
whole
have to
lot.
you damn near gotta be intentional to eat pork.
Right.
You know what I
Yes,
mean? You damn near gotta be intentional.
absolutely. So yeah, I got me I have one slab of baby back ribs and I have a pork tenderloin that I'm going to cook tomorrow. That's our pork. Everything else is beef and chicken, right? And the beef is just for my son and I, and the chicken is, you know, my wife is like, she might come out with some salmon or something because she'll usually come out with a salmon dress, like put this on there. But yeah, so yeah, but it is gonna be some poke. You right, I'm gonna have that hog on there. Oh yeah, smoking up the block. I'm celebrating. People, why you celebrating? Why not? Fuck it. I see you, Mama Jenkins. Shout out to you, John Fletcher. He said, man, you preach it. I'm not trying to. I'm just really telling the truth about what I see in this city. We ain't on code for shit as a people. And I don't know how long ago it was when we did that show called On Code and talked about us getting on code. We still so far away from that shit, it makes no sense. Mama Jenkins said, good evening, my outlaw family. Sean shared that video with me within 10 minutes of what happened, and I couldn't believe it. They murdered him. On another note, another person has gotten killed at the gas station on 29th and Fond du Lac. Now, these people that own most of these bars and stations with these fake security guards want to overturn what the Common Council wants to overturn the legislation that they introduced. When is it enough? She said this leadership is so fucked up. I don't know how you can live in this city and think that it's working. I don't know how you can look at our elected officials, and this is a time when we supposedly had all this black leadership. Is it not me, or did the city get worse under these black leaders?
Hey man, they wasn't doing nothing before, so
They weren't.
it's gonna get worse.
I can't see. I should be able to look, Kamar, and say we had at least 7 elected officials that were men of color or women of color.
I feel you, Kev. I feel just like you do, man. I do.
So something should be better.
Right, it should be.
Something should be better.
It should be.
They have done absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Something should be better.
It's not.
I know lately I've been seeing more flipped over cars. Damn near every day, 1 or 2 cars I see while I'm out in these streets, they flipped over.
And I see murder daily.
Yeah.
I see murder, but we'll allow cats to get on TV and tell us, hey, it's getting better. It's safer. When I seen our mayor during his election say the city is safe now. What was that whack ass statistic? 23% safer on the street, traffic wise. And then hey, murder is down, assaults and violence. See, they're twisting you with that shit too. You know, homicide is actually down without telling you that it's been elevated since COVID and it has not gone back to the levels that it was at before COVID.
Right. So it's not down.
It's just not as bad as it was last year, but it's still up. Okay. And they don't tell you about that violent crimes rape, assault, these kinds of things are still even higher or where they were this whole time. So they juking the stats, and you saying, I'm gonna vote for him without asking any questions, because if you ask him anything, he's gonna say he don't fucking know. What? I didn't know that shit. Well, you bullshit. That should be his campaign slogan. You bullshit.
Bullshit.
Because he don't know. He's never transparent. Although we can see right through you, bro. We understand what your thing is. We know you're a black gentrifier. We know you are. We know you in bed with the businessmen and the contractors. And you saying, I want Milwaukee to have 1 million people. Well, what are you doing to make sure a large portion of that is people of color? Because your show as fuck ain't getting no jobs here.
That's it.
I rarely even hear him talk about economic development. What is his plan? It's the kind of shit we should have asked him before we voted him in.
Well, and we didn't vote him in. Remember, didn't he get in there? Well, we did vote him in.
He got 92% of the last election.
Right. When he first got in, though, it was
us then too. I mean, Kamar, we 48% of this city. Just us, just black people.
Yeah.
If we really wanted to harness our power, that's what we would start getting focused around. Is we got to make any individual that comes to our community asking for our vote do something to get it. Do something to make me feel good, right? And there's because that's what white people do.
Hey, look, we got motherfuckers out here that's trying to show us how to do that shit, but instead niggas want to bang on them. Oh, you fucking coon, you fucking coon. Got motherfuckers trying to go holler at these people to find out what do you got, man. People that's got a platform big enough to where they can go talk to the candidates. You know what I'm saying? And we can hear what they got to say. And Ice Cube proved he just showed the bullshit that they was on.
And some people might say, well, Kev, if that's the case, why wouldn't you have a conversation with Ron Johnson? There is no benefit at all for me to have a conversation with Ron Johnson. There's no benefit because he's not going to do anything for people of color. All his policies have been anti-people of color. So I'm not going to waste my breath because what I'm doing is I'm giving him exposure. Now, would I talk to the mayor? I would talk to the mayor. I would talk to him. I don't know if I'd interview him on my show, but I'd definitely be willing to have a conversation with him. What's up, man? How you doing? Let's talk about this. Answer some questions for me. Because what I can do is then take that information and bring it here and put it out there. Just like I said, we had a problem with DC Crowley about who he endorsed for the county comptroller. Brother called me. I came right back to the show and said, this is the explanation for what we were upset about. Some people said, Kev, that's some bullshit. Some people said that's cool. The fact of the matter is, we didn't have to come on the show to do it. And that just goes to show you I wasn't really chasing ratings. I wasn't chasing likes. I wasn't chasing clicks. I had a conversation with him. So I'd rather put somebody who's against the grain up. I'd rather put an underdog up. I'd rather put a newcomer to this game up on the show as opposed to some incumbent who've been in there 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years and ain't done shit. We can't keep giving you pass. Well, these things take time. It didn't take much time for that Supreme Court to overturn or pass anything, did it? How long did it take them to give Trump immunity? That wasn't a real long situation. Well, it wasn't a real long process, was it?
Nah.
But when it comes to us, well, these things take time. We got to wait. We're trying some things. We're calling some people. And it wouldn't be so bad if we haven't been promised by our leadership in this city. How many times have we heard about this anti-violence initiative that has never come to fruition? At one point, especially when Bear was mayor, every time more than one person got murdered at a time, he lined up with the same 6, 7 niggas behind him, and they made the same promise. And they said, but what we're going to need is for the community to get involved. We need for y'all to take a more active role. And what the fuck are we paying police
That's
for?
what the dumbass police chief say all the damn time.
Right.
I noticed that like every time he do an interview about something, that's what he say. We need y'all. We need y'all to do something. Nigga, we ain't getting paid. Y'all is.
And he trying to get the fuck out of Dodge.
You know what I mean? Bust some of that motherfucking money down with the community. If you want some help.
He trying to get out of Dodge. When they catch him trying to apply to Austin, He
Motherfuckers out here, hey, motherfuckers out here killing people for telling.
yeah.
And you want them to risk their lives while you getting paid to do this shit. Man, you better do your motherfucking job.
And your department has a piss poor record protecting people who have cooperated or provided information. This is documented. They had a serious situation where people who were giving statements when the young brother was murdered at a family picnic and had been because he had gotten shot because I guess he got caught in a crossfire and these individuals didn't want him to testify, but he did. He got shot. No protection. They caught him going to a family barbecue and murdered him in front of his house, in front of his family. MPD did nothing to protect him. When we had the brother on here talking about his mom, who brought that brother on here where his mom had given up some information about a shooter? Sean brought him. And they had come back and shot up his mom's home. But the police had gone to these individuals and said, you know, she told, what the
Right.
Stop it. It's time to flush the toilet, man. You don't just leave shit in the toilet. You got to flush it. You can't just leave it in there. You got to get rid of it eventually. And eventually you're going to have to clean the toilet out with a brush, right? You got to wipe the slate clean, so to say. Shabaka says, the black leaders sold out, look at Los Angeles and San Francisco. He said Mayor Uncle Tom Bradley was mayor of Los Angeles for 20 years. The LAP dogs killing black people skyrocketed. Yeah, because when a white candidate gets in there and he's a maverick and he thinks outside the grain, he's allowed to do so. A black man got to step very softly, very quietly, look at Obama. He had to walk so softly. And Obama really bought into it because he just was super, super beige while he was president. I just wanted one day for him to have like a real just nigga moment.
A real nigga day.
Right. Just this where he just going in press conferences and Michelle got to come out and pull him off the stage and grab his mouth. Like, Barry, I'm sick of this shit, Michelle. There's some bullshit.
Fuck them. No, right. Fuck them, Michelle. Fuck them.
Enough. Enough is enough, goddammit. Well, I wanted to see that. Especially at the end, I thought it was coming. I'm like, you got to do one. Just do one for us. He never did it. And people say, well, he was doing that so it could be another black president one day.
Man.
How the fuck that work out for you?
Right. You forget about it. It'll be a long time.
Shit. I tell you what, it may be one coming, but he will always be a tool. He'll always be a hack.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not allowing our free thinkers to elevate. They're not allowing that for us. Now, people say, well, Kev, you one who said, well, you can do what you want to do. And you can, because you can be that free thinker. Get as high as you possibly can and get enough influence as you possibly can, but don't expect them to allow you into the party. Go into it with the right understanding, saying, look, I'm just going to ride. As long as the people put me up there, I'm going. As soon as the people ain't got my back no more, I know I'm not moving forward. And call out those who are the gatekeepers. A lot of times we won't call the gatekeepers out. We won't say who they are. We won't say, oh, man, that goddamn Black Congressional Caucus, they were supposed to support me, right? See, I'd be on some TMZ shit if I was the president. They'd be like, man, this is the most motherfucking vocal president we ever had. I might be telling secrets and shit.
Ain't that how Trump was doing them?
Something similar, except his was sprinkled with ignorance, lies, and
right.
And
I'm just saying, but he was calling shit out, though, right?
He was calling a lot of people out. Whoever pissed him.
Whoever got this way, right. Fuck him.
We friends, man. God damn.
He's ugly. Fuck him.
Yeah, China flu. They're getting drinks and peroxide. It came from sushi. It came. What the fuck? He was crazy as fuck. Man. And his was primarily based on that white supremacist kind of attitude that I'm above and beyond everybody because at the end of the day, I'm a rich white man. Right. And he's proven that he can get away. Donald Trump has pretty much just showed you that if you white and you got money, You can pretty much do any motherfucking thing you want. When they go and change the whole Constitution for you, but won't change it when people are really losing their lives, it tells you something. Mama Jenkins in the chat room, she said, little buddy is not gonna come and answer any questions. He still got the shit on paper moving it. She said his ass will be grinning from ear to ear within the next 2 weeks. And most of the white business owners downtown are pissed. He said, well, yeah, we got this Republican National Convention. Shout out to Mama Jenkins for that. You know, they grinning and winning. And he's a Democrat. He's a Democrat. But the money that the city will make, and I don't know if anybody took into account, if we take some of this money and circumvent the school system shortages, and that will in turn save taxpayers some money. That's supposedly why you should bring shit like this to the city. So the cost of us living here, we have to bear the expenses of everything, and everybody from outside the city gets to come into this motherfucker and enjoy it. When they need some money for the stadium, we pay it. Goddamn, a container of popcorn is $20 goddamn dollars in the Fiserv Center. $50 to park. You know what I'm saying? So people can come in and out. Goddamn, I'm just gonna Uber to the game.
Catch
What's
a
that?
lift. If you go to the Bucks game, the Brewers game, you need to go catch a lift.
There you go.
Way easier, a lot less stressful and all that.
Or shit. Uber or whatever. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Give me a second. Give me a second, Dion. Give me a second. Let me see. He said, look at the bullshit we go through at SB. TMZ is the feds. Paris, he said, Paris shipped me to that when I did a live feed from Hollywood 2 years ago. Well, he's a Jewish lawyer. Harvey's a Jewish lawyer. Like, what do you say? I mean, he's well connected. I mean, come on. This motherfucker be ahead of everything. Dion, what's popping, man? How you doing on the Wednesday evening?
Oh, I'm doing well. I seen the link that you sent me, but you know I'm at work, though. I didn't want to hit it and be bouncing around in this truck and shit. You know what I'm saying? But what I was about to say, I'm definitely feeling some of the things that you're saying, though. But then some of them I disagree with.
Okay.
Because like with the violence, it ain't nothing big though. But with the violence, like I feel like, cause you know we use Chicago. Chicago is the poster child for violence, and I mean it's like it's 3 million people. Motherfuckers ain't gonna get killed. You know what I'm saying? It's like having 3 million people and ain't nobody gonna get in a car accident.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at a lot of that violence be personal beefs though. It's not organized crime, it be personal beefs, and sometimes you can't really stop personal beefs though, you know? So but you know, like right now, man, I don't know if we should be focused on what's going on locally. We gotta get nationally, because if Donald Trump get back in office, man, I don't know. It's almost like I'm getting fed into the hysteria. At first, I was like, well, God damn it, everybody make this man seem like the boogeyman. And then on the other hand, you got these other motherfuckers is anytime it's some, you know, black affiliated, they're like, no, we'll get to that next time. But then Donald Trump, the boogeyman, and then now I'm like, you know, I hear it so much, like, from Karen Hunter, Joy Reid, Roland Martin, so many other people, you know, certain radio stations like, but goddamn it, is this man the boogeyman? You know what I'm saying? And then, so, you know, we always debate on that, because last week the other day you was like, well, I got kids and I want to be a grandfather. And I'm looking at like, fuck this system, let the democracy be destroyed, and we'll be like one of those third world countries like Libya, Sudan, or Ethiopia, or wherever, you know, where it's the government against the people. So I don't know what to think of. You know, I'm just looking at it like, I don't know, man. We're in a tight situation here, because I'm gonna vote. I think I am gonna vote. I ain't never voted in my life, but I'm gonna vote. I'm probably gonna have to find out how you do it, because I know I gotta vote in my district. Everything gotta be the same with my ID and everything is current. You know, I don't want to go doing some shit I ain't ever did before and get caught up on some bullshit to be like, man, that's why I never should have did that motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's just looking.
Well,
everything's fucked up.
Let me say this. And you ain't never ever heard me say or lay the responsibility of eliminating violence on the mayor's back. I totally understand that that's a necessary evil when you live in a community, when you live in a city, a large city, somebody gonna get killed. And I never said that it was on his back to stop crime. What I get on him about is misleading the people and not stating the reality for what it is. Why are you getting on TV line and saying it's the streets is safer? The city's safer than it's ever been. Crime is on the decline. Why are you not getting on there saying, hey, man, this is a very complicated situation and I'm doing the best that I can. And I do understand that a lot of y'all don't feel safe. And I understand that there's a lot of tragic situations in this community, but I'm doing the best I can to deal with them all. I take that answer as opposed to,
I agree with you.
As opposed to, no, we all good. What's going on in the housing authority? You bullshitting.
But now I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I'll tell you this: when you compare, and I tell my lady friend this, Milwaukee is more dangerous than Chicago. Why? And people be like, well, Chicago has a population of 3 million people
per capita.
You could do something. Yeah, you could do something to a motherfucker on the south side, Ohio on the north side, west side. The south side and the east side is complicated between that. So this from state to the lake is the east, but then so that's really kind of complicated. I don't even want to get off of that. But in Milwaukee, you can't go nowhere. And if you look at the statistics, they be showing Milwaukee, Birmingham, Montgomery, Memphis, Anchorage, Alaska, Albuquerque, because those people have less than a population of 1 million people. So, like you said, per capita, you understand what I'm saying? Milwaukee is a very dangerous place. It is. I personally don't see the danger because I'm working 12 hours a day. Like me and my guy, we just like, man, we just go to work and come home. You know what I'm saying? The only time I have a little anxiety when I pull in my driveway, hopefully ain't no nigga in the driveway trying to rob me and nothing, but I don't look like I got shit to get robbed for anyway, so hopefully that'll never happen. But I don't be worried about like when I go places and shit if something's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't go to those places, like I just don't. Every now and then, I might drive through the hood, might stop on 24th and, in Monroe or go on Tamarack or Center or Hadley or something, see some of the guys hanging out there. But then I be thinking to myself, like, man, don't even go holler at that nigga. Bullshit can pop off. And now you in a jam and you ain't had no business over here. So I just don't even fuck around. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely agree with you say about him just being honest. But like you said, it's complicated. Most of the shit we talk about on here, man, people don't understand it. Like you have to, like you basically got to be like Donald Trump and dumb it down for motherfuckers to really understand. Like when we talk about the Ukraine and Ukraine and the United States, people don't understand that. They don't know how far that history go back. Or if we talk about like the United States is a sanctuary city, is a sanctuary country, people don't understand that. They just look at it like from what the politicians tell them, all the immigrants coming over here, they taking our jobs, they doing this. They don't understand the complexities of it though. A lot of the shit that we be talking about, even with politics, breaking down, just going from the executive, like the mayor in DC, and then talking about Tony Evers, and then I don't even know who the fucking lieutenant governor is in this state. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't even know why Mandela Barnes left that position with his goof ass. Like, who is the lieutenant governor? You know who the lieutenant governor is?
I thought it was Clayfish. I don't know.
Rebecca Clay? Hell no, that's Scott Walker. She's a Republican.
I don't know. Let me see who it is. We can find out. We can find out. I didn't know either. Shit.
Each of those entities are individual organisms on their own. Like you got the local government, then you got the state local government, then you got representatives, then you got state representatives.
Sarah Rodriguez. She's a Democrat.
I don't even know who that is.
Sarah Rodriguez.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. So a lot of times people think these fixes are very simple. How is it simple and I'm not talking to you, but just to ask the average person, what could a person do to make Milwaukee feel more safe? Well, put more police out. But then if there's more police out patrolling, it's highly likely that your goof ass might not have a sticker on your car, forgot about getting your car registered. Now, you get pulled over. You got these young ass nervous cops that they never had no dealing with niggas in the inner city. They from goddamn, I see them come far and see Watson, Eden, Wisconsin, because you know, like I'm up here at Oshkosh right now. I see Milwaukee police up here in the police car. They don't. Scott Walker ended that residency requirement. These motherfuckers stay up here. They don't have any interaction with black people. So now you wanted more police. You get more police. Now your group ass get killed. Now your family mad. This, that, and the other. But we wanted Milwaukee to be safe. So we can't have it both ways.
Well, hold on,
Yeah,
because well, I hear you, but people, that's a misnomer too, to think that more police would make the community safer. Nobody's asking for to be over policed, but there is a such thing as anti-violence initiatives like attacking poverty. There is a such thing as improving educational opportunities so that the students that are graduating from MPS won't be useless, walking around with no job. I mean, with no qualifications, no employment opportunities. If you attack poverty in this city, crime will go down. I don't say what is the economic development plan for the community? You're going to leave an impoverished community impoverished and say, well, y'all stop being violent. That's not how it works. So he doesn't have to necessarily over police us, but there's a bunch of different anti-violence initiatives that could be put into place. And also, how are you utilizing your police officers and your budget? Because number one, it don't take a genius to know, hey, you got acres and acres and acres of vacant commercial property and commercial real estate. Why don't you take satellite police stations and put them in these communities? That's not necessarily adding more. That's using what you got to make it more effective. Let's take up, and that would take up some of this goddamn residential property. I'm sorry, some of these storefronts and some of this old commercial property that's been vacant. You realize there's some streets that have buildings that have been closed for 20, 25, 30 years.
Hell yeah,
in the central city. In the central city, we got an industrial corridor. We got an industrial corridor running through the middle of the city that's full of vacant factories and old companies and shit that's been gone for 40 years.
What is that? It's supposed to be central city. There it was. Wasn't some company supposed to go up in there right there on 30th the Capitol or something?
The old L. Smith, you have Talgo to train people. And I think there's a brewery, a microbrewery there. And then the city utilizes a lot of it for like their trucks and stuff, like equipment, stuff like that. But that didn't bring an industrial park that brought a bunch of different people that were going to come and employ the surrounding community. They tried to bring a slaughterhouse there. And the community said, we don't want no slaughterhouse here. So they said, fuck y'all then. Y'all just won't eat.
The thing about the job initiative, now see, this is what it kills you about the job. Niggas ain't never had a job before in their life, and they expect to go to a job making $20, $25, $30 an hour. They're like, man, fuck that. I mean, you have no employable skills, my guy. You got to start off, you know what I'm saying, with something entry level and then work your way up. A general labor, then work your way up. But see, that be the fucked up mentality about black people, man. You know what I'm saying? But right now, this niggas in Walpole, Stanley, goddamn New Lisbon, Red Granite, all of them, it was out here in the community, but they had worked for $5.50 and $4.50 an hour. They'll come back out here in the community and work for their little money because it's giving them an opportunity to get out of jail. But when you was out here, you could have got your little punk ass job and worked your way up, put yourself back to school and did some shit. You know what I'm saying? To help yourself, you're like, nah, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. So I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It just be fucked up out here sometimes.
Well, I tell you what. Now you're talking about the part that we love to talk about on the show, which is the part that we play in this. You feel what I'm saying? Because there is a part that we play that we talk about on this show all the time. There is the illusion of individuals who never really acquire any kind of workable, employable skills and then think they finna come in and be the CEO of the company. And that's their excuse not to work a job and to continue to try to pull some scheme or scam off, and then they ass right back up in prison and then blame the white man for it. There's a part that we play as well, Dion. Of course there's a part that we play. That's what I'm saying. I don't put all of this on the mayor. I don't put it all on the police chief. I don't put it all on any politician. The only thing I expect from them is to be transparent and to search for things that can counter where we're going. So when I see you dancing around questions, not answering questions, even though we know the truth, to me, you're insulting my intelligence. And if you don't respect me enough to be honest with me, then what are you going to do when I'm not around? You really don't give a fuck about me then. So no, I totally agree with you. I'm not going to walk up to the mayor and say, it's your fault. Because first of all, he inherited a shit sandwich in the first place. But that in itself doesn't stop him from coming up with more progressive ideas. For him to say, hey, man, I got to be really proactive. The problem is every time we get a black politician, they no longer want to be black when they get elected. I'm everybody's mayor. I'm everybody's president. That's some bullshit. Trump is telling y'all I am the white man's president. most of Ron DeSantis, I'm for white people, and I'm the governor of Florida. We're the only ones who get in there and be like, well, you know, I'm for everybody. And they said, nigga.
Yeah, I'm for everybody.
Nigga.
Yeah, I'm for everybody. Yeah, I hate that. Yeah, I agree with you earlier with Barack Obama too, man. Like I could see him not doing it on his first term, but his second term, he should have acted a motherfucking ass.
Well, once again, to understand the complexity of what this city faces, it's an economic situation. It's a social situation. It's a social justice situation. It's a civil rights situation. It's a socio-economic situation. So no man is an island, right? You heard what 3000 said, peninsula maybe. You got to get a team of people. You got to get people on. See, City Hall, the city of Milwaukee is still run by old money. You think they just got these breweries, we don't do beer no more, and these old companies, you think they family ain't still here and they ain't invested in a bunch of other initiatives? That old money still make this city go round. So if you're gonna walk into that city hall downtown, you're gonna straighten up and fly right, or we gonna send your ass off. You can do that, but you won't do it here. When have we had a person in this state of color rise to prominence? And I'm not just talking about you as an alderman. Rise to prominence and stay on some pro-black shit. That ain't never happened. You got to switch up when you get on that higher level. You got to start articulating, and you have to start code switching, and you have to, I like cats. And motherfuckers downtown hugging the Fawn statue. What the fuck? You do this shit so that those white people can say, he's one of the good ones. He's with us. No, let him in. Let him in. He's one of us. Come on. Hey, we love you. You are a lawn jockey to them. That's what you are. Do you honestly, do you think they give a shit about us in these wild communities? In these rich suburbs? They don't know what the fuck is even going on with us. As a matter of fact, they'll come into our city and take jobs to work for places that are supposed to address our ills. And they'll run those places and get their ass the fuck up out of Dodge at 5. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue what's going on. That's why I always say Milwaukee and America in general miss me with this diversity, equity, and inclusion bullshit. You're talking a good talk, but you ain't changed your hiring practices. I'm seeing the same motherfuckers get the same privileges that it was before you start talking about it. So miss me with the shit. If you ain't gonna change it, I don't want to talk about it.
And to keep it real with the white folks sit up and talk about Milwaukee, but nigga, they got a little piece of Milwaukee. The highway was fucked up the other day on my way to work yesterday. And I had to get off on Brown Deer, and I must have went down one of them little roads. I'm like, look at these mother. Man, Kim, it was some shit over there, boy, that you, man, listen, man, it was some shit over there. You would be like, what the fuck is this? Like you see it on Access Hollywood or something. I'm like, this is Milwaukee? When I say niggas, houses was like, and right on Brown Deer Road.
River Hills. That's River Hills.
Yeah. Right on. No, I wasn't on the other side, the Port Washington side. I was still on the other side of the highway, west of the highway. I went east of the highway. I was west of the highway. And I must have hit one of them. I'm like, God damn, look at these houses.
Yeah.
I said, man, they sit up there and talk about Milwaukee. They don't tell you, but look, see, they don't want nobody to know about this little piece of Milwaukee right here. And this the piece right. That's more than a piece of the pie over there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Now you take those houses, and ironically, it's funny that you mentioned that because Saturday my family and I, my wife and my son, we took a ride. I was looking for a remote space where I can go and run my shit. And so I went to Clutch Park outside Glendale. And so we took, or in Glendale, I should say. And so we took some alternate routes and some of those back roads, and we're driving past the houses with the gates. And my son is bugging out because he's looking and saying, Dad, look at that house. I didn't know this shit was in Milwaukee. And I'm saying, of course you didn't. And even if you had the money, you'd be hard pressed to be able to get an opportunity to live out here. They're still very selective about that. Redlining ain't gone. So that's why I keep telling black people, don't waste your shit. Don't waste it because you mad because JJ Redick called a black girl a nigger on the Duke campus in the 90s. You get pissed about that, but save it for shit that really matters, like this. The segregation that still exists, the discrimination that still exists, right? In the city of Wauwatosa, for example, the property ownership restrictions are still on the books. They haven't taken them off. They have not taken them off. But they say, well, nobody, we don't enact them anymore because there's a federal housing act passed. Why the fuck you ain't take it off the books? Now look at Wauwatosa's population, then look at yourself. Look at yourself and look at Wauwatosa's population. It's been some discriminating somewhere. And that's another place that you don't think of has some motherfucking hellified homes. Where you say, oh, shit. When you get out there by them county grounds, before you get to those neighborhoods, Washington Highlands.
Hell yeah.
It's some exclusive white communities. Do you really think they give a shit about us? Do you think
Martin Drive all over there.
Come on,
if you go straight up center, you can't go straight up center to get to Mayfair Road. And you get lost over there, you be like, what the fuck? You're like, God damn, look at that house, look at that house. And I know, like you said about, because there have been a couple times, like one day I was going to work, right? I get on the highway right there on 43 and go, and I seen a motherfucker in a Lamborghini truck. And a Lamborghini truck at least about 200,000, 300,000. And I'm like, this man riding around in this special ass car. He's oblivious to what's like. It's already going on out here. The other day I seen a motherfucker in a Rolls Royce. I said, look at this motherfucker in this Rolls Royce he's driving. The good Rolls Royce that the rappers be having. And he's just driving the old white man. Him and his wife sitting up in that air conditioner probably blowing like they in a freezer, goddamn. I said, they oblivious. This poverty and shit over here. And the killing part about it, I'm probably the only motherfucker that noticed that car because I was stopping looking at it. Everybody else was driving past. So they probably don't even know the worst of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this man in a $500,000 car driving through the city of Milwaukee like it ain't shit. Like it don't mean a motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, that's just how life is. Even sometimes with me and yourself, we ain't hurt and we drive past a motherfucker and look at it like, I'm going home to my motherfucking house. I got my central air running right now. I ain't thinking about that shit. I'm waiting for this $1,300, $1,400 check to be deposited in my motherfucking account every week. And I'm going to blow it. I'm about to go to Minnesota Friday. I'm about to rent a car. You know what? I'm about to do all other type of shit. No, for real. I'm running me some shoes and want to order me some more shoes. I'm going to go to Minnesota to the Mall of America. I'm going to spend money going there. I'm going to spend money coming back. I pay for my dog to come to the hotel and everything. I ain't thinking about no poverty right now. The only thing I'm thinking about, like, damn, every time I get to but I be looking at it like, well, fuck it, I'm living. And
I think
50 years old.
The difference is, and I can't speak for you, but me individually. First of all, I'm nowhere near where I should be, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and so I'm never looking down on anybody because it ain't that long ago that I was right there with them. So I haven't risen to that point. And I'll tell you another thing about me. Integrity wise, you can't pay me to sell out. I've said this a million times. You can pay me to shut up, but you can't pay me to sell out. So if any individual group or any individuals want me to stop telling the truth, they just got to pay me to do it. But they can't pay me to sell lies. They can't pay me to mislead. They can't pay me to buck dance. And there's a distinct difference between those types of individual. And also, I am the type of person that if I was to acquire any amount of wealth, I'm coming back to my community on a couple different levels. Not to give away money, but the first thing I'm going to do is purchase some property in the community where I'm from. I'm going to have an ownership stake. The second thing I'm gonna do is go into that community and look at and talk to the people and say, let's address this specific problem right here. I'm not trying to say the world. If they say, Mr. Barnes, the problem is crime, then I want to come up with some alternative programs for youth. Maybe it's sports, maybe it's educational, maybe it's art, whatever it is. There will be an entity in that neighborhood that represents my business that says, I'm here to change the game. I'm not a motherfucker that's just gonna walk off when I do. And right now, when I do get money, and like I said, you're right. I'm not in a situation financially where, you know, it's hard to get a meal or like, damn, we struggling really badly. But I don't look down on, I feel sorry for people that are stuck in that situation. The difference between me and a very rich white man, obviously, is when he's rich, is that he's rich. But he don't give a fuck. And he shouldn't have. I don't blame him. If I was a white man, I tell this all the time. If I was a white man, I would be racist as fuck. If I was a white person, if I was a rich white man, I wouldn't give a shit about. I'd be sitting in my house in fucking River Hills doing the same shit. Like, boy, those people are some goddamn savages. I'd be worried about where Lil Kev and Taylor going. It ain't their job. It's our job to demand the people, to demand the individuals that are in office, to demand better from them. And then we got to demand better from ourselves. It truly is. I see Mama Jenkins saying in the chat room, it's a people situation. Milwaukee is racist and it's never going to change. It's just us. So if we move like it's just us and we know that, you'll start to see some change. We can't keep moving fractured like we are right now. We just can't. That's not a winning formula. She said, did I say Washington? What did I say? Heights is Highland. Washington Highland. Thank you, Mama Jenkins. I'm sorry. Shabaka said Tom Bradley. Said Tom Bradley did that exact same shit. John Fletcher said, come see me. EPU Personal Self-Defense System LLC will make you feel safe, my brother. He said your safety is up to you. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Choose wisely, man. Did y'all see this shit? No, did y'all see this shit this morning where and this is just a take a deep breath moment, right? Right. I know I've been fired up tonight. I just feel a certain kind of way, but this is a woman, and I'm thinking she's white. She's at the lake this morning. She buries herself in the sand, and she calls the police to come and dig her out because she's stuck. Did y'all see this shit? It's in the People's News Network. Shout out to Calvin Lockhart at Lockhart Media. I rocks with dude. I rock with him. So he puts up everything. He's on. I don't even know how he do it. I really don't. I've been trying to get him on here. And I said Calvin. His name ain't Calvin. I think it's Andre. I don't know. It's Lockhart Media. But yeah, man, I'm gonna try to get him on here. But yeah, I see. He had the actual call where she was saying, hey, can you come and help me? I'm stuck. She buried herself on the lake, on the beach, and she couldn't get out. And so she called the police. And I'm like, was there nobody walking on the beach? Like, so I guess police say, Kevin, we got to waste our time doing this shit. Of course we can't. White privilege. Well, if she was white, I don't know if she was white, Dion. I don't know if she was white. I don't know if she was white.
Yeah, that sounds like some white shit. But before I hang it up, I want to address the situation on Waka Flocka. Now, I understand. See, the thing about them entertainers where we have to be careful with, man, people are very impressionable. Right now, ain't no time for no nigga to say, fuck Joe Biden and this, that. That's all we got. That's all we got. You know what I'm saying? See, we won't know how this man gonna be in office. And a motherfucker telling you what they gonna do, and I always heard of somebody tell you what they gonna do, you believe it. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he could be jacking his slack, but he got a lot of money behind him. He got a lot of influence. The Heritage Foundation, you know what I'm saying? Those are the people that wrote Project 2025. You know, a lot of these diehard Christian white nationalists and things like that, you see they put the 10 Commandments back in the classroom and all that. I mean, that's infringement on a person's rights. But then shit, who said the homosexuality ain't infringement on a person's rights? So when we look at these entertainers, and yeah, They might not have no influence on you and I, but it are people. It is people out here that's very impressionable. And I remember when Sexy Red was talking about it, somebody else was talking about President Trump because but they don't know that the Congress passed stimulus act. The only thing Trump did was sign it and put his name on there and pushed it out. He ain't had shit to do with that. You understand what I'm saying? So see, that's why I be saying little shit like that. People just don't know. They think, oh, Trump gave. No, the fuck he didn't. Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House at the time, and her and Chuck Schumer, they didn't want to pass the stimulus act to save the United States because when nobody working and everything was fucked up, so they wanted to put more money into the economy, but that kind of backfired and fucked everything up because it's only supposed to be a certain amount of money circulating in the economy. And like I said, economics, all this shit is tricky. You know, we need poor people, we need crime, we need this shit. Because if you ain't got no crime, you won't hear about no judges getting laid off. You don't hear about no police getting laid off. You don't hear about none of that. But that's just something else that I can throw up in there. It really, people have to think about that shit. My mind just be going. But anyway, though, like I was saying about, certain these entertainers be saying this shit, we have to be understandable because a lot of times people be looking at these entertainers and these celebrities and they be like, look at Michael Jordan. Every motherfucker you know or see in this world got a pair of Michael Jordans on. Now, I don't know if you got a pair of Michael Jordans, but I got plenty pair of Michael Jordans. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have those entertainers and those athletes and people like that of influence going out here saying shit like that, people absorb that shit. You feel what I'm saying? People absorb that shit because a lot of us are not individual thinkers and we need somebody to tell us what to do. But I'm going to hang up and listen and call my dame back, and I'm gonna listen to you so I can almost get back to grafting. And if some else shit hit me, then I'll call back. Peace, Bull. Peace, Rail. Corky, wherever y'all at. Sean, you did a great job. Mama Jenkins, EPU, all y'all. I love y'all. Outlaw, this Dion, I'm down.
Yeah, I hear you on being influenced. Like people are, if you are like dependent on Waka Flocka to tell you who to vote for or who to support, I don't know if. I don't know if that was his intention, but I kind of feel sorry for you if Waka Flocka Flame does he still call himself that? If that's who your influence is that dictates your political beliefs, we got a whole other issue to talk about. I don't know. He's never even impressed me, left an impression with me of him being like really, really informed and intelligent. Maybe he is. I don't know. I thought I heard somebody say that he had this really high IQ. I don't know. I know what his artistic output has been, and it's kind of been like, for me. So, I mean, if that's who you follow, that's who you follow. It is what it is. Once again, a lot of things that happen, a lot of things that go on, we have more control over it than we think we do. Right. And I think we acquiesce a lot of, I keep saying we give away more power than is taken from us. So, it's just one of those things where you say, yeah, well, we got to blame ourselves for some of this shit too. And I don't skirt past that. I think, like you all always remind me of, is Kev, not everybody knows what you know. Or not everybody knows what Kamar knows, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, then in that case, then some people maybe need to shut the fuck up and listen. like sit your ass down somewhere, right? Or Kendrick Lamar, be humble, right? Like sit down. Like sometimes, look, I can be put in listening mode very easily. When I encounter or I'm having a conversation with someone who's knowledgeable about something, I listen. I try to learn. I don't, hold on. Wait a minute. No, I hear them out. I say, okay. Now, if I disagree, I disagree. But I'm going to hear them out, right? And so, yes, we play a very important part of what's happening to us. Like, we can't get off, we can't let ourselves off the hook like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's kind of it, man. Come on, I don't know if you had something you want to add to this whole thing, with the influence and how people utilize, their platform. I feel like if you're a rapper and you playing into this, there's something behind it. There's some money for you because you're an entertainer, and but people gonna say you're just an entertainer. So I don't know what you think about it. You muted. You muted. You muted.
I think if you informed about something, you know what I mean. You got information. I don't think there's nothing wrong with disseminating information.
Okay.
You know what I mean. Um, you could do that. I also feel like, and even in situations other than that, right? I think if I'm in a regular conversation with somebody and they promoting bullshit, you know what I mean, it's for me to speak against it. The only problem is what I'm saying is bullshit to them. You know what I'm saying? So like I think if we ain't disseminating information about important stuff like that, we should just shut the fuck up. And the information has to be factual.
Okay. 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 Um, you got to consider the source, right? Once again, I want people to understand. I don't put this on any one individual. I collect. It's a collective thing. So you hear me talk about the mayor, because he's the mouthpiece. He's the talking head. He's the figurehead. You hear me talk about these elected officials because they come to us and make promises, and rarely do they fulfill them. And a lot of times they make moves behind our backs that we're unaware of. So we just exist in this kind of dumb diddly dumb state without really. And then when it comes time for them to run again, you wonder how do we keep getting elected? Because people don't really know what he or she is really doing down there. At one point, we had this entity downtown, and they were the Common Council. We were making up the majority of the Common Council, and I say we. I'm talking about foundational Black American candidates, and they got very little done. But they were down 16 years. Some of almost 20 years. Some of them was down there. When shit got hot, they bailed out to better jobs, and they still working. And I pointed out this problem a long time ago because I started to see people treating these individuals more like celebrities when they would see them on the street or see them somewhere, then saying, "Hey, man, what the fuck, man? What y'all doing?" People say, "Let me get a picture." "Oh, man, look, I ran into the alderman." He's not even your alderman. He don't even represent your district, right? You got a picture with him and shit on Facebook. Like oh my gosh, it's crazy how this shit goes, man. I don't endorse endorsing someone who doesn't have my best interests at heart. And it don't
Right.
it
I
could be
think you should make
whatever
them feel.
level.
I think you should make them feel uncomfortable.
Or just don't talk to them. Just don't sweat them.
Well,
Don't
well,
be
I'm
on this
saying like
jealousy.
if you out here and you for the community, instead of when you seeing them taking a picture, smiling, shucking and jiving and shit, but then you got a bunch of shit to say about them. You know what I mean? I just feel like you should make them feel uncomfortable, asking them uncomfortable questions.
I agree with you.
I ain't saying punch on them and shit,
Oh,
make them
no.
comfortable, but start asking them hard questions, put them on the spot, shit.
You know what, Kamara, I agree with you on the level that even if I'm gonna say, well, I want to hear what you have to say when I do sit down and talk to you, or when I do interview you, like you just stated, I'm gonna ask the tough questions.
Right.
I'm not gonna just say we cool now, so I ain't gonna really press you. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm gonna still say, "Hey, yo, what about this? What about that?" Like,
Right.
and I think that's how you move, right? Like, so I don't. He talked about Jordans. The only Jordans that I have are believe it or not. This is funny. I have I think about 4 pairs of Jordans still from when I was in college. Right, so I graduated from undergrad in 1999. So that's how old they are. Um, I purchased my son Jordans before. He wasn't really a Jordan guy per se. He just didn't really, he wasn't, he's not a real materialistic dude in the first place, but he certainly was not like the Jordan addict. But I still wear Hustlers. So I understand that, because I can't criticize people for wearing retro Jordans. I still wear Clarks and Wallabies, which are 30, 40 years old. I'm just not, Jordan, his attitude towards our community has always been kind of like very nonchalant. Like I feel like with what the amount of money that, and I don't think as many people, black people, spend money on hustlers as they have Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I think for the amount of money that black people spent with Jordan, and the lives lost, the robberies and the crimes committed for Jordans, I always felt like he should have just threw us a bone. I don't know what his philanthropic efforts are, so I can't really just, totally shit on him. But I always felt like it should have been some kind of special concession in his heart for us to say, I'm gonna do as much for these poor kids in the inner city that live and die for my shoes as I possibly can. And some people might say, well, Kev, he does that. And I'm not here to tell you I know every camp Jordan runs. I don't know every charity that he runs, but I just know when I see him, he don't seem like he's with us, because I never hear him speak on a social situation with us. To me, that in itself is cause for skepticism, to say, I'm side-eyeing you, bro. I don't know if you really with us. You know what I'm saying? So Mama Jenkins said she ain't got one pair. She said, my mom always says silence is golden. She said, is there anybody besides me sick of these motherfucking fireworks? It's like bombs going off over here. I ain't sick of them yet, because I plan to let some of them off tomorrow.
Hey, it's pretty quiet over here.
It's quiet over here too. It's pretty quiet over here too, where I'm at. I can hear them in the distance. It ain't gonna be quiet tomorrow night though.
Oh, no.
It's going down. It's the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I did fireworks with my son last year because I realized that I hadn't really done. He had been in some places where I had done fireworks when he was small, but I hadn't done them with him. I hadn't ignited any fireworks or let off any fireworks since he had gotten older. So last year I said I wanted to do this with him just to experience it. So I'm going to try to do it again with him to a limited degree. Like, I'm not letting off the fireworks that should be at the lakefront. I'm not doing that. Like, we'll let some little shit off, right? But it ain't gonna be like some people. I'll be like, God damn, where did you get that shit from? So no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do it. But it's 4th of July. I'm used to traditionally fireworks on the 4th of July. I don't know. It bothers some people. It doesn't really bother me that much. Kamar, are you against fireworks or you just impartial? Like, I don't give a shit.
Well, for the night of, cool.
Okay.
It was just dead that shit the next day. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear that shit the next day. The next night, all night and all that shit. 3 nights. You know what I mean? Black folks go crazy with that shit, dog.
We get bucked, don't we? With the fireworks. We get
Yeah,
bucked
man.
with the fireworks.
Like, what the fuck is going on? Y'all saving the shit for tomorrow night?
Yeah,
Like
it's
that
just like
shit.
it's just like on New Year's, when it turns New Year's and people just go let loose, just bow, 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 bow. Like, whoa. I remember standing outside my garage last year, standing in the doorway of it while they were shooting, and I was just like, dude, are you serious right now? And the thing is, as a person who I'm a gun guy, bullets is expensive.
Right.
Y'all motherfuckers got more money than me. Shit.
I said that to a young brother, man. Like, dog, why y'all want to waste your bullets like that and shit? Oh, we got plenty of them. Man.
I stopped doing that. I used to do that. There was a time when I partook in that, but I stopped when I learned better. Like, that's dumb. Why are you doing that? Like,
Right.
letting your gun off at. I did it 1 year. So I did it maybe 2 years for my nephew, because he used to always, when he was like 12, just go, oh, let off one of the pistols. So I would, go outside and shoot up. I've done that shit in over 13 years. I think it's stupid. But I do hope that I can get some fireworks cracking with my boy tomorrow night. And he's about to leave and go off to school. So I know in the future when he come home, it's gonna be the last one. So I want to let off a few with him.
Right.
Let me see, what time is it? It's 9:19. I was trying to get out of here early tonight, since it is a holiday edition, and leave some stuff for Monday. Dion says, what does the 4th really mean to black people? To me, it means a day off work and some barbecue.
I don't know what it means to them black people.
Right. To me, it's a day off work.
I don't think that's something we can't answer. We can only answer what it means for us. Like, that's too broad of a question. You know what I mean? That's left open for a lot of debate. A lot of, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what black people celebrating for. I know I ain't celebrating. I'm just celebrating my people. all the time.
Well, if we think about the concept of it, and it's worth, we can take a look at it. If we conceptually, we're talking about Independence Day, the day that, or the whatever date or occasion in which the United States declared their independence from Britain. The beginning of America being America, saying, "Hey, y'all ain't running us no more. We are our own people." That is the essence of Independence Day. Now, I think people kind of take it from there and say it's Independence Day, but we ain't free, so why we celebrating? Or man, we were slaves though when they did that. Why are we celebrating? I think the intention of the holiday is to celebrate America itself, saying to whoever the powers that be, hey man, no more. We done fucking with y'all. We're gonna be our own selves from now on. Now, just to be me, I could see how that deserves recognition because America became America. I don't hate America as much as some other people of color do. I hate some of the things that America does, right? And I would personally rather be in America than any other country. Kev, you never been anywhere. This is also true. When I see it on TV, I don't want to move there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say you go visit. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to live there. I'm not saying America is the greatest place on earth, but damn, it could surely be worse. I think it was Jeff Crape. Shout out to Jeff Crape down in Houston, who was saying you've never seen slums until you go to Asia and see their slums. You'll be fighting to get back to America. I know I seen some documentaries that talked about the slums of Jamaica and in Haiti and these other countries, and even in Africa, some places that. And once again, I'm not faulting the white man showing you that, Kev. There's a reality to the struggle in some of those African countries. I don't want to be there. I want to be here. I keep saying black people are the only true Americans. We wouldn't exist in this version if it wasn't for America. And I'm not, you just got done talking about somebody cooning. I'm just explaining the way I see it. But here's the kind of, I guess, the tipping point for me, Kamar. As bad as it was in the Jim Crow South, for my parents, and as much cotton as my mom picked in Mississippi, she still celebrated the 4th of July. She still dressed us up. We used to get outfits for the 4th of July and shit. Stars and striped t-shirt and some shorts. And not that everything they did was right. I don't do everything my parents ever did, but I never heard her express, because my mom used to say all the time, as bad as Milwaukee is, Mississippi ain't shit. So I'd rather stay up here. And so sometimes it's just about appreciating where you are, right? Like we could be in Gaza right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so,
Kev, like with me, right? It's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like I say, it's these people do holidays for different reasons. Well, at least I done learned to. I didn't always celebrate holidays. I mean, I did, and then I didn't, and you know what I mean? And now I like to hang out again. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of memories of hanging out with my family and shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them is gone or moved out of state and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to get out and to be able to see everybody celebrating, whether they celebrating or just hanging like I am or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's fun. It feel good to see for me. You know what I'm saying? For me to get around some people, and I only go hang around people who I feel like really love me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't finna just be out at the park fucking off, and you know what I'm saying, or out here. If I ain't around people who love me, I'm at the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a little bit deeper for that for me. You know what I'm saying? When I go hang out.
Right. And I'm with you on that because you already know I'm.
And and not only that, man, but it'd be a lot of good feelings when you be out hanging with people, man, laughing, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Reminiscing, and man, them some good feelings. Why would we deny ourselves just because of what they did in the past? You know what I'm saying?
And also, Kamar, I'm taking what you saying, and with that, more often than not, when we get together, it's for a funeral or it's for something
Right.
bad. So if there's a point where, or a period where we can get together and it ain't about that, we can all just kind of fellowship and eat a little food, or,
Yeah. And then
or
everybody
whatever.
off. Hey, look, everybody off tomorrow. Why not
Right.
tomorrow?
Like,
Shit.
man, come through, right? Like that's part of it too. And sometimes even the most battle tested soldier has to take a deep breath. I don't care how, you be out here in this field. If you don't take some time to, because we talk about self-care, you don't take the time sometimes to say, you know what, let me enjoy my people. I don't care that they call it the 4th of July. So be it. I'm with my people. I'm with my family. I'm chilling. I'm with my guys. Like you said, people who really love me. How you doing, man? Because normally I'm busy. I'm running. I'm ripping. I'm running.
Mhm.
I'm working. How you doing? Just want to take the chances, say I'm happy to see you and I love you, bro. Love you, sis. Like you take the time on holidays to do that. And so that way, when somebody, does transition, you ain't like, I should have went to see dude, man. Like I for a long time, rest in peace to my homie Rob Weeks. And this is why now, if I ever want to see anybody, and I hardly do, but if I ever do, I go see him, because for a long time, my partner, he was in California and he kept telling me, you got to come out here. You got to come out here, Kev. You got to come kick it with me. You got to come kick it with me every summer. Soon as we got out of school and he moved to California, every summer he come, Kev, come out here. I'm telling you, I got you. You'll be straight. You're gonna love it. I'm like, Rob, I'm coming. I didn't want to get on the airplane. Rob, I'm coming. Had the money 25, 30 times over. And he used to tell me, you don't gotta worry about no money, Kev. Just come out. I just want you to come out here and kick it with me. And I kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. And he ended up getting a brain tumor, cancer, and died. And my wife used to always say to me, you should go see him before something happens. He's inviting you out there for a reason. Like, you should go see him. That's your friend. And I didn't go. And he perished, and I didn't get to see him. So basically, when we left school in 99, that was the last time I ever seen him. Now, we talked on the phone steadily till 2012, 2013, 14, 15, whatever it was, almost every other day. But I put it off. So I'm saying, take advantage of your opportunities to fellowship. Bear Meat, my brother's back in town. He's been gone for a while. I was super happy when he got back. I'm not going to even lie to you. I was super happy. I was just glad to see my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be reaching out to him tomorrow. What's good? Come on through. Get you a plate, right? Post up, and let's do it. And anybody else who is my family that's, rock with me, you come through, man. It's what's happening, man. Hey, come on, have a seat, man. So it's just those individuals that I don't fuck with that don't come to my shit. Don't come over here. Don't make me act funny. Earl Henny said, good day, my brother's almond chocolate milk. I have no clue what that means, but shout out to Earl Henny.
No, whatsoever.
Because he's an outlaw, right? He's an outlaw. Are you up on the Hawk Tua girl right now?
The what?
The Hawk Tua girl.
I don't.
Okay. So I live in the Podverse. So there's this young white girl. She's 21 years old. She's from Tennessee. She did one of these, they have man on the street interviews for different platforms. And they ask her, what does she do to make sure she can keep a man? And she said, you got to grab that thing and hawk to it. Spit on it. Spit on that thing. And she's viral. She's been flown around the country. She has been the Instagram, social media. She's everywhere. She's a country western fan. She's been out on stage with the country western singers, all because she said you got to hawk to it, that thing. You got to spit on that thing. So,
wow.
And somebody said, I can't remember the meme. It says this young lady is about to be a millionaire. I'm saying hawk to her. I can't remember. I don't want to misquote it, but yeah, she's about to have 5 minutes of fame. That's incredible.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's everywhere. You hawk to her. Hawk. She's like hawk to her like that. That's what she did. So people, oh shit, like. So she's the latest and greatest right now. I think if she make a song, Sexy Red is done for. That's crazy, man. It's crazy what you get famous for in this country. Yeah, she's 21 years old. White people were upset also because the BET Awards gave a memorial presentation. When they talked about people who we lost, celebrities, they gave it up for OJ. And so white people were upset about that too. Like, OJ, why did BET do that?
Fuck y'all, it's still OJ.
Still OJ, right? I don't know why BET did it either, because it's not like OJ was rocking with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like OJ wasn't there.
BET ain't really us.
This is true. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
I was tripping because look, they also had Lil Diddy do a little performance.
Oh, was he on there?
Yeah, they
I
kind of
did not.
booed him a little bit and shit.
I
They
did not
didn't
know that.
applaud him really.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, why do we hold him?
I want to say during Kid Capri set.
Do we hold him accountable for what his dad did?
You know, he had a bunch of different people coming on throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? And somehow they had Dog on there, man. I was tripping.
Do we hold his son accountable for what he done?
Well, his son a fucking rapist too. His son out of order too.
Oh, okay.
You know they say where smoke is fire. He's fighting a rape case right now.
Now, was it that one? Because he got two sons.
That one. Yeah,
it was that. Okay. I didn't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Why y'all even got him on the award show?
Okay. I did my best to find some good things about the BET Awards. That's why I said on the show the other night, I looked at the R&B singers. Like I looked at Meta, and I seen Lauryn Hill's performance. I watched Coco Jones. I wasn't really too into the Usher thing. And then I watched his speech that they bleeped out. They kept bleeping out, and Usher was really snapping in his speech, and I guess I didn't listen to it long enough to try to figure out who he was talking about or what he was talking about. It sounds like he's been victimized or seen some things that he,
everybody.
Ray J, who's having somebody go and get Ray J right now. He's
he's
nervous breakdown. Oh my God, Hollywood, phew, that shit.
Ray J going crazy.
Oh my God, like he had a whole fight with the Zeus, the guy who, people, and I don't have Zeus, but I know Jocelyn has a. Zeus is like a black-owned, like I don't know, it's like reality shows, so baddies. I don't watch any of this shit. I see it on Instagram, I see it on YouTube. And I usually scroll past it, but it's Zeus, the Zeus Network, and that's owned by a young brother. And so he and Ray J just had a fight. Well, Ray J swung off on him and then went and got his backpack and tried to pull. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then he did like a bizarre.
I don't know why the fuck Ray J think he gangster down.
Well, they say Ray J was really like I don't know. I don't want to insult real,
Man, he grew up with Brandy.
But they weren't rich though.
They wasn't old enough to be he wasn't old enough to be no tough guy. Ain't he Brandy younger brother too?
He is, but from what I gather, he was, while they were focusing, and this is just speculation, commercial, don't get me, because I'm not a Ray J fan like that. But they said while they were focusing on her and building her career, and they moved to California, he kind of got loose. Man. and became in some affiliation of blood, and like that's how he ended up with like Suge Knight, and like he's been with all these. He's with Whack 100 right now as his manager. So and once again, this is all speculation.
Whack got a bunch of allegations too about him being a real motherfucker too.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can deny his affiliation, but he sure is moving funny as fuck right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's moving funny, like trying to bail out Keefy D, but I think that's a business move. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Earl Henning said about the Hawk Tour girl, sounds like she know what to do, and I think that's why it just took off, because she said you got to spit on that thing, and brothers, men, men are men. Men say, what? Hey, you hear what she said? Hey, black men, don't get your ass whooped out here telling these sisters, man, about that shit, man. You don't want to get in trouble. I thought it was funny, man.
Y'all ain't mentioning the Hawk Tour.
Well, she got a Hawk Tour. She said you got a Hawk Tour that thing, man. You got to. You got to put some spin on it. That's crazy. That's what we say. Nasty work. That's nasty. What else we got? What else we got? We got. I think that one of the last things that I had that I would like talk, and this is old too. And it's a conversation that's ongoing. The brother, Columbus Short, who's with an Armenian woman right now, came out and was critical of black women and stated that black women, the problem with them right now is that they don't respect black men. And this is an issue because of the historical destruction of the black family, and that they were kind of conditioned to not want to be with black men and have no desire to, he talked about every other race and culture, their women basically becoming submissive and acknowledging their men as the leaders. And he stated that he felt like, black women, because of what has happened to us in this country, have developed this angst and this hate for black men and this disrespect for black men. And so he pointed that out as an issue with black women. And this is totally opposite of the Haktua girl, right? But I, is there some merit to the fact? But there's some merit to the fact that in our community we got some issues between us as black men and black women.
Definitely.
There's definitely a movement of sisters who, for whatever reason, have some deeply rooted issues with brothers. And it may be, daddy issues. It may be being traumatized at the hands or assaulted at the hands of family members or people in the community. It may be being involved with men who, exploited them or, led them astray. There's a million different sides to this coin. I do think there's some merit to the fact that right now there's an anti-male syndrome for a lot of black women. I don't think we can ignore it. And I don't think that the majority of black women are this way. But also on the flip side, think that there's a lot of men who have the same kind of issues. A lot of men got mommy issues. A lot of men are way too emotional to be men. A lot of them are short-sighted. A lot of them are not intelligent. A lot of them are cowards. So I think the worst parts of each part of us make us hate each other. You get what I'm saying? Like the fact that some brother somewhere did something to you makes you hate all brothers. And the fact that some woman did something to you makes you hate all sisters. I used to always tell people, like, I think the coldest game you'll ever get as a man comes from a woman, like in terms of being hurt. Like that'll turn you into a player or like a pimp type individual. Usually you get that game from a woman. A woman can hurt your ass early and you'll never get over it, right? If you don't have the right relationship with your mother, you'll grow up resenting women. That is a true fact. But I think we got to watch how we talk about it. Like when we're on platforms, we got to be careful how we speak, and we can't generalize, and we can't just label all black women with this. And then they can't blame that, oh, no, we don't take care of our kids and we're not fathers. And come on, how many times have we debunked that theory with a panel full of nothing but brothers who take care of their kids? I don't have no partners who don't take care of their kids. If they don't, they ain't with me. Right? Kevin love the kids. So when I heard Columbus Short say it, I said it's a shame that there's some truth in what he's saying, but the way he's saying it, and as an individual who himself has a history of domestic violence and sexual harassment claims against him, which has negatively affected his career because he was actually a brilliant actor. And he's also not with a sister right now. So, black women ain't never did nothing to me bad enough to make me hate my mama. And my mama was a black woman. So I ain't never been played so bad by a woman where I said, well, fuck all black women.
Man, listen, in my darkest moments, in my whole life, I'm talking about my darkest moments when listen, my guys wasn't there. It was a black woman.
Okay.
Of some sort, you know what I mean? A mother, a cousin, family member, friend, you know what I mean? But it was always a black woman that was there for me, man, to hold me up.
Okay. Understand?
So I got to give it to her. Give it up to them black women.
Got to give it to them, and they got to get with the hawk tour. Nothing but mad respect for black women, man. Mad love and mad respect. And you know, as much as we acknowledge the struggle that we've been through as men, you got to give it up for them too, because a lot of this they've been standing. She said in the movie, "I've been standing right behind you." Right, the sister's been on the front lines with us, and I think you can either have the best thing in the world or the worst thing in the world. Because if you get a beautiful black strong woman that's down for you, you got the greatest natural resource ever. But if you get somebody, and I don't even think they have to be black, that's just toxic and dysfunctional and traumatized and dealing with some deep-rooted shit, you got hell to take to the captain. It don't matter if she black or white, right? But if she is black, whew, shit, watch out. So it's really about you, number one, working on yourself to the point where you're able to receive, because sometimes you have those same, trauma. You had that same kind of trauma, that same kind of experience, but you've worked it out. You said, you know what? I'm not going to I can't ride on the world because somebody done me wrong. If you can get to that point and be able to say, okay, baby, you know what? This is what I deal with. And she'll say, well, you know what? I'm willing to work through it with you as long as you're working on it. There you go. That's what makes, a cohesive kind of relationship. But, two motherfuckers who just fucked up and they neither one of them dealing with their issues. Boy, that's a goddamn explosive situation, one that you really don't want to be in. So run, run. Even if she hawk to her, run. You're gonna end up the level, the amount of domestic violence cases that we see right now, men and women killing each other. Because I just seen one today. I don't know what the situation was. It appeared to be a domestic situation where the young lady's been charged. She ran the brother down and in the car and shot him, killed him.
Dang.
Right? He was, I guess, trying to pull off. Oh no, he was trying to catch her car. I'm sorry, y'all. She was trying to leave and he was running after the car and she shot him and left him dead in the street. So people die, man. People lose their lives, and that should not be a situation. The last thing I want to, and I'm not laughing about this, I think it's a very interesting development, was Rick Ross got punched in his face in Canada, right? And a lot of people, a lot of celebrities came out and they were laughing and making fun of him. 50 Cent was making fun of him. But Luke from Miami, I thought he made a good point of it in saying this is a very dangerous situation because Rick Ross has a lot of love in Miami. And there's a lot of people in Miami who really respect and revere him. And so this can potentially create a situation where if Drake or artists that were with him come to Miami,
it's gonna be
they can be assaulted, right? Yeah. And I thought that it was important that Luke stated that because Drake came out and liked the post and said Happy Canada Day or some shit. I think Drake should have disavowed himself from this and said, look, I don't encourage violence. I don't want nobody to get hurt behind this shit. It's just rap music, whatever. Right. But it goes to show you that Drake doesn't really understand the nature of the beast like we do. So when Kendrick says they not like us, there's validity there. And those people in Canada should know that it works two ways. Mm-hmm. If you catch me slipping in Canada, I can catch you slipping in America.
No, they fucking do money up.
Well, they're giving him, he's getting more money now.
But really, I really feel like Kendrick is drowning him out.
Well, that in that regard, yes. Oh, that's a foregone conclusion. Right. But this is about, I guess, Rick Ross. Some people say he shouldn't have been in Canada, and he surely shouldn't have been up there with just a few security guards. And he also shouldn't have played They Not Like Us at the end of his show.
That's really what he shouldn't have did. I mean, That's it right there.
It's a dare. Kamari, it's I dare you. What you want to do? What you want to do? But that it's in itself. So Rick Ross is wrong for that because now potentially if one of them gets hurt in Miami, that's on him. That's on him now. So where's Jay Prince when you need him? we need to get Jay Prince to say, hey, you know, everybody sit down and come together, man. We gonna dead this here tonight. We need to get we need to get Lil Jay and get these dudes and say, man, it was a rap beef and it's over. It's over. And Drake needs to say to all the everybody in Canada who idolizes him, look, man, that's not what we doing here. That's not what we doing. Because I got to move throughout the United States all the time.
Straight up. It's fucked up. You can't go to Miami, homie.
Well, I mean, the South, period. Georgia, Texas. You know, there's people all in the South that love Rick Ross, but it's bigger than Rick Ross. It's us. It's people starting to think, hey, it's us against them. They not like us. They're the other side. So get him. It's that kind of thing. And so it gets dangerous. I like the fact that Luke pointed out that he was a person who tried to mediate Tupac and Biggie. He said, as a person who tried to get both sides on the same page, and we see how that ended. So that's why he's saying to Drake, you fumble. You totally mishandled this situation. And now retaliation is retaliation. Like, you know, and it doesn't have to be a direct order from, you know, it didn't have to be a direct order from Drake. It doesn't have to be one from Rick Ross. It could be anybody in their camp or somebody who just feel like they riding for the cause.
A crazed fan.
Right. So let's be careful, man. We all enjoyed what Kendrick done. I think it was time in the culture for a shift. I think the whole pop music, super, you know, teeny bopper period of hip hop had to come, and I think it was time for it to go. I also believe it's time for auto-tune to go. And so that's why I thought what Kendrick did was beautiful. And the message in unity and saying, hey, especially in California where that gang culture is so thick at, to say, look, man, we got a common unity here. Let's take advantage of this. And I don't know how long that's going to last, but I thought that was a good part. Now the aftermath of this could potentially be something happening to somebody because of this. And this is the last goddamn thing in the world we need to be killing each other over. He also kind of reprimanded other celebrities who was laughing because, you know, 50 Cent is like super troll. And 50 Cent was
I
he
saw
don't
that
like
before
Rick Ross
before I
anyway.
saw him actually get hit.
Yeah. And 50 Cent don't like Rick Ross in the first place. So it was, you know, he just is, you know. And so Luke spoke to all of that, saying, like, y'all think this shit funny. But see, Luke is from Miami, right? And Rick Ross is his guy. And so Luke is saying, y'all already know, down here, it's a whole different planet. You know, and his point was Miami is something different than everywhere else, because people down there really, really, and you know, Texas is, I'm sure, you know, like that. I'm sure California is like that, but people in Miami, the 305 thing is like, you know, for real to them. Like they feel like, you know, we need to get some get back for this. So I'm hoping this shit don't boil over, because it would be such a tragedy for this to ruin what Kendrick Lamar was able to do. And he did it on Juneteenth Day. You know, it's that whole concept of 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. And that's what it comes down to. So we're going to get out of here for the night. You got your event this Saturday, right? Tell the people about your event.
Our event. It's our thing, y'all. It's our thing.
Tell the people about it. Elaborate on that.
Wellness our way, man. Y'all got to come out. Listen, you could come win you some Usher tickets. We got Usher tickets to win. I also got a couple other things that we're gonna be passing out, giving out. Get there, be one of the lucky people to get one of these prizes. You know what I'm saying? We got workshops going all day long. Felons, we got something special for you. Come learn how to get your pardons and your expungements done. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need this. You need to be able to protect your family. You need to be able to get that money you think you can't get. You know what I mean? That you will be able to get after this. But you know, it's just a whole bunch of benefits with that. We also got the emotional intelligence class taught by Rail. We also got a guided meditation class. We also have the shadow work with Courtney Francois. We also have EPU security, teaching self-defense. Telling you, man, y'all got to come down to this workshop. We got a lot of stuff going on, man. You're gonna love it. And we also got vendors with a lot of different wellness products. And these vendors ain't just ordinary vendors. These are different wellness practitioners who create products. So you know what I mean? Different kind of issues you may have. We got different kind of people here that can answer some questions for you. So come on down, enjoy the day, hang out. You know, we also got 105.7 is hanging out. Promise from the morning grind. He's hosting the event. So you know what I mean? It's gonna be a big deal, y'all. Come on. We also got Outlaw Radio gonna be there. They're gonna be interviewing different businesses and different people, important people in the community. You know what I mean? That's here for us. So yeah, come on out. If you're doing something, you know, come make your voice heard too.
What time? What time it start?
From 10 to 5 at the Sherman Phoenix. 10 to 5 at the Sherman Phoenix Saturday.
All
This
right.
Saturday.
Support Black business. Please support Black business, right? If you're not supporting Black business, what you're doing. Look, I want y'all to have a peaceful holiday. Spend some time with your family. Hug them babies. Hug them aunties and uncles. Respect your elders. If you still got parents, show love, siblings, friends, homies. Take a deep breath, man. Take a deep breath and say, you know, where do we go from here? I keep saying we focus too much on looking back. It's important to understand what's behind you, right? But you can't drive if you're looking back. That's why the windshield is usually bigger than the back window, right? So we need to be focused on what we're doing moving forward. Part of it is hitting the reset button on many different levels. And people could listen to this show and say, Kev, you didn't even address half the shit that's really fucking with Black people. You know, well, nobody's stopping you from contributing. If you want to call in, if you want to be on the show, if you got something to say, you want something you want to promote, just hit me up. Just do it in a respectful manner. I think really what hits us hardest now is the level of disrespect that we encounter amongst each other, because a lot of us is so tied up in what we going through, and we forget that we don't live on this planet by ourselves, right? And so therefore there's the formation of habitual line steppers that feel like my day's fucked up, so I'm fucking yours up, and then we have a problem, right? And so respect is something that we really, really need to get back to into the community. And I mean that in the most sincerest way. Like, I really feel like it all starts with us respecting each other. And some of us who are getting advanced or moving forward in certain areas, looking down on each other or getting to certain levels and then forgetting about where we came from or who we came from. That's a problem. That's always going to be a problem. There goes those 3 S's that I always talk about: separatism, sovereignty, or solidarity. You tell me which one we can do right now. And you can tell me Monday, because we'll be back at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between time and in the meantime, please, please, please be a person whose contribution to the community outweighs your criticism of it. Because if that's the case, then you most definitely are indeed a coon. Happy 4th of July, man. I'll see y'all Monday.